Appreciate that you're here. And welcome into everybody tuning in over on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new, we're basically about to talk to people that support Trump as president for the next 4 to 5 hours or so, trying to figure out why, how many sorry, let me slow down here. We're trying to figure out how/why so many Americans still support a very bad president that has been destroying our country, violating the Constitution, playing wannabe dictator, etc. And we already have our very first Trump supporter connected into the live. I'm not sure I know their name. What's your name?
I'm actually using my business name. My name is actually Dencia. My name is my stage name is Dencia. I'm actually an artist. I am a singer.
Very nice. Okay.
A
All right.
mogul. I'm a singer, a business, an entrepreneur. I'm one of the people who started e-commerce 2013 when I released my skincare brand White Nishes by Dencia.
E-commerce. Very nice. Well, take it away. Tell us why the hell you support Trump. You got my attention.
Okay, so let's start. I moved to the United States when George Bush was the president. I was a teenager. I'm originally from West Africa, okay? And being an African, a black girl, you come here, most of our parents are Democrats. But being in this country and coming during the Bush era, America was financially doing well. I'm a business person. I started my first business, I was 8 years old. And when Obama became president, I saw how people lost almost everything that they had. Obama era was one of the worst for me in America. I study history. I travel the world. I've been to more than 100 countries in the world. And Obama era was terrible. I almost got deported, and I was an American citizen during the Obama, and I
Okay.
was
Hey,
still.
I'm gonna interrupt you here.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about why you support Trump.
Right, that's what I'm coming. I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm getting there. Let me go faster. So during the Obama era, I'm a US citizen. I almost get deported. I was on tour. I left the country and I was on tour in Africa, and I come back and they had to they had to call immigration to let me back into the country, and I'm a citizen. And Trump, the United States is a corporation, it's a business. The United States is not, the politicians are way too corrupt. And the United States is supposed to be run as a business, not as just like a place with politicians. The poverty that I've seen in the United States is worse than I've seen anywhere in the world. And I travel the world. The homelessness, I live in California. The homelessness is insane,
Okay.
right?
I
Now,
apologize to interrupt you. I want to figure out why you support Trump.
why I support Trump. I support Trump because as a business person, I think he's able to change the economy. We're in a Great Depression and a recession. We need a businessman to run this country as a business. We don't need a politician to run it as a politician or as politics. America does not need politics right now. America needs business deals. America needs money in the economy. America needs people that can go around and make sure that money goes around. That's why I support Trump. I think as a businessman,
Can
he's
I?
able to do that.
Okay. All right. So first and foremost, no, our country is not a business because our country doesn't operate for profit. Second of all, even if our country was a business and Donald Trump was its metaphorical CEO, well, he would have been fired by the board. Why? Because he's obviously not doing too good of a job. In the first quarter of this year, our GDP went down for the first time in years. In the second quarter of this year, 52% of companies in the S&P 500 reported lower profit margins than in Q1 when the GDP went down. Long-term unemployment is at an all-time high since 2017 in his first term. We see that annualized GDP growth projections from the Feds are right now sitting at 1.4% when last year it grew 2.5%. And on top of this all, you know, if the country is a business, well then who buys from this business? I'd assume you're making an analogy to the American people. Well, the CEO of the business has been screwing over his buyers, the American people. He kicked 10 million people off of healthcare, 3 million people off of food stamps, and has now reduced the purchasing power of close to 200 million of us through the big, beautiful bill. So once again, my conclusion is our country is in a business, but if it was and Trump was the CEO, he'd be getting fired right now.
You own a business?
Yes, you're looking at the business that I own.
What business do you own?
Voila. Right
How
here.
much
You're
how
on it.
much how much do you make a year?
I wouldn't share that with random people at a party. I don't think I'd share it with you on TikTok Live in front of over 6,000 people.
I mean, most companies that make good money is public knowledge. They know, people will be able to know what you make. I've had the same business in this country for 13 years, and
I just also don't really think it's relevant towards the counter argument that I
it
gave towards
is.
your position.
It kind of is,
How so?
because um I've owned the same business in this country for 13 years, and I've made a lot of money, millions and millions of
Okay,
dollars
so
every
you made a
year.
lot of money. So that actually doesn't respond to my argument. Just because you've made a
No,
lot
but
of
I'm
money
coming.
doesn't mean that you're
But
necessarily
I'm
right, as it
coming.
would relate to how Donald Trump has been governing the country from the Oval Office in the last 215 days. Nor does this imply any articulated response to my objections to your argument by like demonstrating to you how Donald Trump has been running our country into the ground, economically speaking, by fucking poor people over with a big beautiful bill, by fucking poor people over with aggressive tax through his tariffs, by reducing our innovation, by reducing competition in the market through the tariffs once again,
It
by
sounds like
like
everything you're,
slowing our
it sounds
GDP growth and
like
actually
everything you're
causing our
saying
GDP
is
to go
like
down in the
you.
first quarter of this year, or causing
It sounds
over
like
50% of S&P 500 companies to lose profit in
you
Q2,
sound
or
like
like
you
the fact that
cramp
employment
everything
is
you're
up, inflation
saying.
is up. Like, I mean, like once again, these are all economic indicators that are true of the economy because of Donald Trump and his presidency. If our country was a
It's not
business and he
because
was a
of Donald
CEO,
Trump,
then
though.
he would be
Donald
right.
Trump
You're
just
still
got power.
you're
No,
interrupting me.
but
You're
I'm
interrupting
interrupting
me.
you because
I'm gonna
you
mute you
cramp
in five
everything you're
seconds if you
saying.
don't stop talking. If
Everything
I'm gonna
you're
mute you.
saying is something that
I'm
you're
now
cramp.
you're now muted. And if Donald Trump was a CEO of the business of the USA, he'd be fired because he's doing a shit job. Let's face the facts. Go ahead and unmute. I just don't like it when people interrupt me. And hopefully you actually respond to my argument this time. If you want to know how to unmute yourself, just click on your profile picture and then click the icon of the microphone, my friend. She can't figure it out. That's why I don't like muting people, because half of them can't figure out how to unmute. I just won't stand for being interrupted. I can't. Jeez, I told you to stop interrupting me. You said no, and she's gone. All right. All right. She left. Goodbye. If you'd like to finish our conversation, feel free to hop back in the queue. Oh, well. Let's go and get that next Trump supporter up in here. Hop in that queue if you support Trump, as well as I'd like to thank Raven for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Raven. Raven with a $20 super chat says, he makes enough. State your purpose. We love our dean. Thank you so much for the love, Raven. Thank you for the 20. Let's get to it at Raven W's while we're looking for that next Trump supporter. We're going to go to load up Tammy in here right now, as well as Slicky. Thank you for the $10 over on super chat saying, why don't you stream on Twitch? I guess I haven't gotten around to it. Or Coral, thank you for the $20 on super chat saying, got off work early to find your stream started right when I clocked out. Today's a good day. Hope you're having a good day too. It's been a rough day, but oh well. Thank you for the $20. Good to see you. As well as Lucas with the 25 pounds on super chat saying, gotta be one of the first and alive and the first to donate. You are the first donation of the day. Thank you so much, Lucas. Show some love to Lucas, Coral, Raven. Show some love to all of our donors. And thank you guys. And welcome in, Tammy. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Holy crap! I love you so much, Dean. Oh my gosh, you're so amazing.
Banned. I appreciate you for the love, but we are just looking for American adults that support Trump to talk to. Let's go to move on to the next guest, Ryan Lee. And then also, I'd like to thank Adriana. Thank you for the $5 on Venmo, and Jada with the $2 on Venmo. If you want to support me, by the way, my PayPal is like permanently banned. That's what I woke up to today. The only way you could support me if you want to is over Venmo, which you can find in the link tree in the bio. Just thought I'd put it out there. The PayPal is permanently toast, you guys. It's gone. It's excommunicated. It's over. Only got Venmo now. Welcome in. What's up? Do you support Trump, Ryan?
I do not.
Ban, appreciate you for coming up. Once again, just looking for MAGA. Moving on to the next guest right now. For those of you asking why it was banned, no clue. No clue. Like, the cited reason from PayPal is that I wasn't like giving my buyers enough protection. And then when I called the phone for the support for them to tell me why, they were like, it's because like there's an IP trying to sign into it. That was weird. There's like no clear like description why. And oh my God, it sucks so much. Anyways, welcome in, Mason. Do you support Trump? No, Mason's not here. Yeah, I'm gonna try to stay away from talking about that. But I just like, guys, I've been so upset all day over it. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Lynn?
Yeah, I support Trump.
Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 45.
Yeah, don't believe you. What year were you born in?
I was born in 1980.
Yeah, I don't believe you. Sorry. Moving on. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Jay?
I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I am 18.
18. What year were you born in?
I was born in 2007.
2007. Okay. All right. What month? Very nice. Have a good rest of your day. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a second. We got Liam loading up into the box right now, everyone. Make sure in the meantime we're tippity tap it away on that phone screen, folks. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Everyone, we got that next guest loading up, and they've already dipped, guys. Go ahead and put a macro with your age down below in that chat right now. We're just looking for a single Trump supporter to come up here and have a conversation with us. I guess it's not going to happen. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay. No, you're actually like 4. Good day. All right. Go suck on your thumb or some shit. Well, let's go to move on to the next guest ride. Here we go, everyone. Just give us a minute, you guys. Here we go. Next guest is loading up. Mackenzie, thank you so much for the $25 over at Venmo. Test. Okay, yeah, they're like eating. They got an echo band. Mackenzie, thank you for the $25 over at Venmo. For everybody watching, please show some love to Mackenzie down below in that chat. Mackenzie said, I used some of your arguments in conversation and went really well. I feel a lot better equipped to deal with people around me that spread misinformation or prejudice talking points. I was scared. Age? Another why are we just getting children today? To finish Mackenzie's statement, she feels better equipped to deal with the people around her that spread misinformation or prejudice talking points, and that she was scared to speak up before. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. I'm happy that you've taken something away from the lives, that you now have a base of knowledge to be able to combat the prejudice in your personal life. That is like literally the reason why I do these streams. Go you, Mackenzie, and welcome in. What's up, Wyatt? Do you support Trump?
Hello.
It is another child, guys. Okay, all right. That's like 7 in a row. Okay, that's enough to warrant a little bit of a pause, real quick. That is enough to warrant a little bit of a pause. So, okay, all right, everyone. We are only looking to talk to adults. Only looking to talk to adults. All right, you guys. So, if you find yourself in that queue, make sure that you are an American adult that supports Trump. That's all. Be at least 18. That is all I ask, quite frankly. That is all I ask. So let's go ahead and get into that next guest, get into that next conversation with the next guest right now. For the love of God, follow the rules. Okay, all right, and they're gone. Go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section if you'd like to come up and have a conversation. We're going to get that next guest up in here right now. Also, I just wanted to extend, like my thoughts towards the victims of the shooting in Minnesota. What? Okay, I'll finish what I was saying. I wanted to extend my thoughts and my condolences towards the victims and the families of the victims of the shooting today in Minnesota. It is a travesty. I heard about that this morning, and just set me up for having a bad day. And I think that should set everybody up for having a bad day. Everybody should be having a bad day right now with that news. It is soul crushing. It is absolutely soul crushing. Welcome, and do you support Trump?
To be honest, no. I just have a question for you.
All right, then you're violating the rules, man. You're violating the rules. Let's go ahead and move on to the next guest, you guys. We're going to go to get that next Trump supporter up here right now. Don't break the rules. Don't break the rules, please. All right. They're not here. Moving on to the next guest, Jacob. Make sure that we're following the rules, you guys. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I support Trump.
Okay. How old are you?
18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
All right. And why do you support the commander-in-chief, Mr. Trump? Take it away.
I honestly started supporting Trump because of obviously other things like media coming into my life and having not my parents because they're very liberal. I'm the complete opposite of them, but having my older brother and his friends come around me, they always push the right side on me. So I think that's why I support him.
Okay, do you have any compelling reasons that you could argue?
Honestly, he just seemed like the better candidate, and then overall, I kind of don't like him now anymore after I voted for him.
So
it just kind of
so you don't still support Trump?
I partially, I guess.
Okay, if you could go back in time, who do you vote for?
Honestly, nobody, because they both support Mossad, and I don't like Israel, so
Okay.
I would have just not.
We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute, you guys. We've been live for 20 minutes. We were able to find a single Trump supporter to come up here and have a conversation with us towards the beginning of the live stream. However, right now it is very difficult. For all of you Trumpies out there, please
What's up,
hop in
Dean?
the
How you
queue.
doing
What's
today
up?
on this lovely Wednesday? How you doing?
Doing all right. How about you, man?
I'm good. I'm just listening to a lot of kids come up on your live stream. It's kind of annoying.
It is kind of annoying. Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir. I support
And
Trump.
how old are you?
I'm your age.
You're 20. What year were you born in?
2005.
Perfect. What month?
May
Awesome.
18th.
Awesome. Bread, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Saying sorry about your PayPal. Here's some DNC bot grift money. Yo, let's go, Bread. As well as Grace with $1 saying thank you for everything that you do from your platform. I'm from Minneapolis, an educator, and I'm devastated. I would love to hear your thoughts on using on the right wing using dead children as political pawns after school shootings. It just shows that they don't care. It shows what their true intentions are. It shows where their priorities lie. And honestly, I haven't really even seen many people on the right use the dead children as a political pawn. It's more so just been the fact that the shooter was trans. Okay, I've been scrolling through my X since I woke up. I've not seen a single post from a Republican on Twitter extending their condolences towards the families that lost members of their families or the children that died. And it's
Wait,
all
what happened?
about just further stigmatizing the trans community because the shooter was trans. They care more about the shooter's gender identity than they do about the dead children, and that's it's really tough to see. It's really hard.
Wait, what happened?
Really hard to see. A church was shot up earlier today
Oh.
in Minnesota. There were 17 people injured and 3 people that have died. Now, take
That
it
was
away.
today?
Yes, that was today.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's
I
incredibly
support
sad.
Donald Trump because of the way he communicates, his form of communication. That's my favorite thing about Donald Trump.
Can you make it a little bit more clear? Like specifically, how does he communicate that you're a fan
Like
of?
just his
'Cause,
delivery
like,
with
honestly,
words.
I
His
can't.
delivery.
I
No.
can't- I
His
can't
delivery
stand
with
his
words.
communication.
His delivery with words is just it like speaks to me. That's what I really like about him.
Okay.
He has a way of words with me. That's why I like
He
him.
has a way of speaking.
Yeah.
All right, tell me.
Very
You
short
know,
period.
I feel like
real quick, DJ, my friend. I'm gonna play a clip of him speaking, and I want you to describe why you like it. Okay?
sure.
So I said, let me ask you a question. And he said, nobody ever asked this question. And it must be because of MIT, my relationship to MIT. Very smart. He goes, I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. These people are crazy. He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated, and other people do a lot of shark attacks. So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards. Or here, do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking? Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, nobody's ever asked me that question. I said, I think it's a good question. I think there's a lot of electric current coming through that water. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time.
So can you explain to me, like what he said there, or the way he said it, and why it resolved so well in your mind?
I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't really following.
Okay.
I don't really know what he was talking about. I'll give you that, Dean. I don't really know what he was talking about.
Right. So he has like a way with his words.
Yeah,
he does the weave. He does the weave.
A one-time thing.
It's
It's
a one-time thing. Are you sure?
I'm like positive. Of course, it's a one-time thing.
Okay. All right. Well, here's actually a voiceover of another one of Donald Trump's great speeches, and the voiceover just makes it even more clear how insane he is. Take a listen.
And the faucet, the water doesn't come out. They have a restrictor. In areas where you have so much water, they don't know what to do with it. You have a shower head, and the shower does it. The shower. You think, it's not working. It's not working. The water is dripping out, and that's no good for me. I like this here, listen, I like this hair nice and wet. You have to stand in the shower for like 20 minutes before you get the soap
What
out
is
of your
this?
hair. And I put it
Oh, this is a speech that Donald Trump gave while visiting Alligator
That's not
Alcatraz in
Donald
Oshkosh,
Trump.
Florida.
How was that Donald Trump? That was a girl's voice.
Well,
That
it's
was not Donald
a
Trump.
voiceover from a speech that he gave live on July
No,
1st at
no,
Alligator
no, I need
Alcatraz
the
in
proof.
Oshkosh,
Pull up
Florida.
a source. No, that was not Donald Trump.
You
That was not
could-
Donald Trump.
You could go and watch it.
No, I'm not pulling up your sources, Dean. I hate to break
I'm
it to you.
giving you
You need
the
to pull
source.
it up for me.
I'm giving you the source so you could pull it up. In order to find this yourself, just go on Google and type in.
I can't go on Google.
Okay, that sounds
I
like a you
can't.
problem.
Okay, I can't. I'm debating you right now. How can I go on Google?
You could go on pause, or you could just
I don't
simply
wanna
take
go
my
on
word for
pause.
it, then research it once you leave.
I don't want to go on pause.
So then take my word for it and research it once you leave. But I'll
But
give
you
the
said this
source.
is what Donald Trump said. I said this is a
Right.
one-time thing.
Right,
You said
and
okay.
you
Let
can
me.
find
Okay,
him, and
can
you
you
can find
please let
him
me
saying
talk,
this
please?
by
Please,
simply
sir.
Googling, and I quote,
Please, sir.
President
Can you
Trump
please-
visits Florida's Alligator Alcatraz in Oshkosh, Florida, Forbes, July
Why
1st,
can't you pull it
2024.
up? Why can't you pull it up?
Because
you have
I'm-
like 3 computers.
Because I'm giving you everything that you need to pull it up yourself. Since you
Okay,
asked for
even
the
if this
source.
was true, okay, and he messed up a couple of times, it's really not the biggest deal in the world. We all make mistakes.
Right, no, we all make mistakes. Well, I mean, this just simply refutes the idea that he's a great speaker.
Wait, Dean, do you not think we all make mistakes?
I think that we can all make some mistakes,
Okay.
especially with
So
our
I would
speech.
think
but
juggling a few words
I
that
don't
are
know. I
incorrect
speak
wouldn't
every
be the
single
biggest
day.
thing.
I speak every single day for 4 to 5 hours. Can you play a clip of me just speaking absolute incoherent nonsense gibberish for like 3
No,
minutes?
Deanie,
straight?
I don't typically clip you. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really sit here and clip you.
Right, exactly. You know, I've been doing this every day for 4 hours. You know, I'm like sure at this point that there's more recorded footage of me speaking in the last 2 years than there is of Trump speaking in the last 2 years because I do 4 hours of public speaking on record every single day.
You
right?
really want to think that's true? This dude has been the president for our country for like 5 years, and you
Right,
think you have more
but he
screen
doesn't
time than
publicly
him?
speak like for 4 hours a day.
It doesn't matter. He still has. First of all, he was on TV for like most of his career before he was a president. So what are you even talking about?
I'm talking about
He's
from his
lit-
presidency.
Yes, still, even just from his presidency, he's definitely had more screen time than you have just on this. And more people have seen what he said than just you. You have like
I could agree
3,000
that
viewers.
I could agree that more.
You have like 3,000 concurrent viewers in here right now. Right?
There's
Nobody's
actually,
really
there's
watching.
actually
that.
12,000 concurrent viewers on TikTok and 2,000 concurrent viewers on YouTube. What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. I just guessed. I'm not like looking.
You could literally open your eyes and look at the top right-hand corner.
Okay, well I missed it, Dean. I'm sorry.
Okay, now I'm going to go back to what I said because what I said had nothing to do with like how many people have heard me speak compared to how many people have heard Trump speak. I'm just simply saying that I've publicly spoken more than Trump on record in the last 2 years, right? He's publicly spoken a lot, like I'll give him that, right? But I've just simply publicly spoken more, right? He hasn't publicly spoken for 4 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, right? And even from
And
like the
why do
last
you
2
exactly
years, I don't think
disagree?
that you'd be able to find a clip of me so incoherently speaking. Would you say that I speak better than Trump?
Probably. Yeah, I would say you do. He's kind of old.
Oh, okay. So if you support Trump as president because of the way that he publicly speaks, yet you think that I
No, no,
publicly
no, no.
speak
I said
better
the
than
way he
Trump,
delivers.
does this mean
No, no,
that
no,
you
no,
think
no.
I would be a better president than Trump?
I don't think you'd be a better president because of just who you are as a person and the policies that you may have.
Wait,
I'm
am I
not-
bi- wait,
I don't
wait,
think
no,
I'm not gonna lie to
specifically
you. I
talking
don't
about
think
my
I'm
ability
not-
to speak.
If you want me to be completely honest with you, I'm not trying to be like an asshole or anything, but I do not think that you're the smartest. Like, I don't think you're the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm
Who's
not gonna lie to
smarter,
you.
me or the guy that said windmills cause cancer?
I don't care. I know I'm smarter than you, and that's all that matters. I'm smarter than you, Dean. That's
Well,
all that matters.
well,
And we're having
I
a
mean,
debate right
I-
now.
I heavily doubt that, DJ, but it seems that you're running away
Wait,
from the
wait,
point.
wait,
here.
wait. Do you
Now
have a
you've
college
interrupted
degree?
me.
Are you college educated?
I'm literally 20 years old, man. I couldn't,
Wait,
even if I
wait,
wanted
wait, wait.
to.
Do
I
you
couldn't
have it- so
even.
you don't-
I-
okay, so
I
you are
couldn't
college
e-
educated.
I
Okay.
couldn't even if I wanted to. Now you interrupted me, so I'm gonna wait. You said that you're the same age as me. Do you have a college
Yeah, I'm
degree?
20. Yeah, I'm in college, so I'm college educated.
Oh, you don't have a college degree. You don't have a college degree.
But I'm actively working towards one.
All right, I'm going to finish what I said. Don't interrupt me this time, DJ. You're starting to kind of get on my nerves. You're starting to annoy me because I'm trying to talk to respond to your point, and then you interrupt me midway through and say something completely irrelevant. So cut it with the interruptions, cut it with the deflections. Just like, dude, come on. Act your age. You're the same age as me. I shouldn't look significantly more mature than you do. Now I'm going to go
sorry,
back to
man.
what I was saying. Just hear me out, okay? So I asked you why you support Trump. You said because of his ability to publicly speak, okay? I play you a bunch of clips of Donald Trump publicly speaking so incoherently And then I'm like, you couldn't find a clip of me speaking incoherently for 2 minutes. Like you could find multiple clips of Trump. So then I went on to ask
Why
you.
is the
well,
chat
you know,
spamming LBJ? What did I do?
you interrupted me again. So then I went on to ask you, does this mean that you think I'm a better public speaker than Trump? And you said, yes, you agreed that I am. And then I asked you if you'd support me as president over Trump, and you said no, which means that you don't think that my ability to publicly speak is relevant to if I'd be a good president, meaning it wouldn't be relevant to Trump either, right?
Can I speak? Let me know when I can speak.
Dude, almost. I'm just making the point clear. I've one more point to touch on here, right? And then you brought it to intelligence. I asked you if you thought I'm more intelligent than the guy that said windmills cause cancer. You didn't answer the question, implying that you think I am. So I'm better at publicly speaking, and I'm more intelligent than Trump, yet you still think he'd make a better president than me. So this just means that your perceptions of his intelligence or public speaking ability is not why you
There
think
you
he's
go,
a good president.
changing my words, Dean. There you go, changing my words. Let me address your points first of all. There's a couple of things I want to say. First of all, it's irrelevant if you can publicly speak better than the big Donald Trump because you are 20 years old. You are not eligible to be president of the United States. So it literally does not matter at all. Until how old do you have to be the president? Is it like 30 or 40? Until you're 30 or 40 or something years old, it's irrelevant. It doesn't matter if you could speak better than Donald Trump. It doesn't matter if you can talk, if you're smarter. It doesn't matter. You can't even be the president. Second of all, I didn't say I like Donald Trump because of his public speaking. I said I liked him because of his delivery. And let me explain.
Delivery
Let me
is
go a
public
little
speaking.
further. Let me go a little further in. So
Delivery is public speaking.
You do not have a better delivery than Donald Trump because let's say if there's like a room full of people, right? Let's see if Donald Trump is trying to get the room's attention versus yours. I think everybody's listening to Donald Trump over you. And most other presidents. I think that's one of his best qualities as a person and a president. So that is why I have support for Donald Trump. And those other points that you made about being a better public speaker, like I said, it's irrelevant.
Let me ask you a question, my friend. Can you give me one clear way Donald Trump possessing this quality of being able to get people to listen to him has made America better?
America's pretty chill right now.
So what has he done to make it better?
I think gas is down. The economy is good.
Okay, well,
No
you said
wars
that,
or
that
anything.
gas is down.
Stuff like that.
So you said that gas.
Your
is
business
down.
your business is actually doing quite good because of Donald Trump. Look at you. You got 13,000 viewers in here because you're talking about Donald Trump.
So you said that gas is down. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, inflation is up and unemployment is up. So if you blame a reduction of the price of gas on Trump, do you also blame an increase in macro inflation and an increase in macro unemployment on Trump?
Yes.
So you just
But I
blame
take the
everything
latter.
that happens you just blame everything that happens in the economy on him?
Well, he is the president, no?
So in April of 2020, when he was president, and our unemployment
COVID.
rate was the highest it's been since the Great Depression at 14.8%, that was his fault?
COVID.
Well, wouldn't COVID also be his fault since it happened in America? when
No,
he was
COVID
president?
is a once in a lifetime thing that's never ever going to happen again. I
Okay,
don't
so
even
if
know how that
external
thing happened.
variables can impact how things can happen inside of an economy,
Yeah,
then I want
Dean,
you
there's
to
a fine
isolate-
line. The
Interruption.
external variable is
Interruption.
COVID-19 that killed
Interruption.
hundreds of thousands of people.
Interruption.
That's the external variable.
Interruption.
Let's use our head.
Interruption. So if external variables can impact how or why things happen inside of an economy, I want you to isolate for those external variables and give me an argument that Donald Trump caused a reduction in the price of gasoline by telling me what he did that caused the price to go down.
Dean, I don't need to. It just happened. It's irrelevant.
Oh,
whether
well,
I
so we're back to the
reasons
just
why
happened
it happened or okay, whether I give you the well, first of all, to be completely honest with you, I don't know the reasons why. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I don't know what he specifically does every day. Like I'm not sitting here with like my head up in the ass about politics every day, so I don't know exactly what he's doing and signing. You know what I mean? So I can only see based off of what I can see. You can understand that, right? Can you try to step into my shoes from
Right.
somebody that isn't in the world of politics every day like you?
All right, I'll tell you why you're wrong. The first reason why you're
Okay,
wrong.
you didn't answer my question.
What was your question?
Could you put yourself in my shoes, into my perspective, and understand that a person like me who isn't in politics every day is not going to know specific policies that he does as to why the gas prices or something went down? I'm only looking at if it happens.
I can place myself in your shoes and understand why you yield that conclusion, But my ability to do that doesn't change the fact that the conclusion that you're yielding is false. The reason why the conclusion that you're yielding is false, that, well, the gas prices have gone down, therefore it's Trump's fault, is because it's defined as a logical fallacy. In fact, the logical fallacy would be a correlation causation fallacy. Just because two variables are associated with one another, such as a slight reduction of the price of gasoline and Donald Trump's inauguration and services are president for over 200 days, doesn't mean that one variable caused the other, such as the variable of Donald Trump's administration causing the second variable of a reduction in the price of gasoline, right? So you can't just assume that. And if you want to be able to assume that,
My
you have
boy
to
Ronnie
prove
in the
that with the
chat.
use of evidence by describing what he did to cause that outcome. Now, what happened when I asked you, what did Donald Trump do that caused this outcome? You said, I don't know, but it happened, therefore it's his fault. Okay, well, what is the relevant logical distinction between your argument that because this happened under his administration, he caused it, and between my argument that, well, COVID happened under his administration in 2020, 2021.
Let me
therefore
ask
he
you a
caused the
question.
pandemic. No, I asked
Let
you
me
a
ask you a
question, and I want
question.
you to respond to it without a pivot or deflection.
When is my question is an answer to your question? When
Oh
is
my
something like
gosh.
COVID going to ever happen again?
So questions actually are not answers.
Okay, because it's true. That's the only way I can answer this. That's the only way.
Okay, well,
You know it's true.
questions like don't have a property of being true or false, but answers do have a property of being true or false. So when you give a question as an answer, you're committing a category.
You know, you're being very disingenuous right now. You know it. You are.
What
being
did I
very
say that was
disingenuous.
disingenuous?
Because you're trying to say that if we can hold the president accountable for what happens to him underneath while he's the president, then we can look back at April 2020. We all know COVID happened. Obviously,
Well,
that's never going
the
to happen
argument would be
again.
that he caused COVID.
How did he cause? No, he
Well,
didn't cause
wait.
COVID.
So you just asked me how he caused it. So now you're making the suggestion that in order for me to have a valid and sound argument that Donald Trump caused the pandemic, I would have to describe to you how he caused it. That's the point. Good job, DJ. We have finally made progress in our
Stop
conversation.
crashing out, buddy. Stop
I'm
crashing
not
out.
crashing out. I'm actually blissful and joyful because now
Deanie,
we're finally.
You're getting mad, Deanie. No.
I'm not mad or angry. I'm joyous and blissful and happy because we finally made progress in our conversation. Let me describe to you how we finally made progress. I made the argument that Donald Trump literally caused the pandemic in America in his first administration, and I asked for your response, and your response was to reject the argument on the basis that I have no clear description on how he caused it. So if we could reject an argument that the president caused something to happen in the country on the basis that we have no clear description on how he caused it, well, now I'm just going to take your own argument and mirror it back onto you. You have no clear description insofar as how Donald Trump has caused a reduction in the price of gasoline. Thereby, I reject your argument with your own logic. And if you want to critique my rejection of your position, you're only critiquing yourself.
Oh wow, you got me, Dean. Wow, you
That
really
I
got
did.
me.
That I did, my friend.
Okay, so you got me there. So let's switch topics.
Okay, all right, I'm down. Before we
Let's
do,
talk
let me,
about the border.
Before we do, let me thank a couple people. Adam, thank you so much for the $10 on Super Chat saying, hi, Dean, I love your videos. You remind me of this one journalist named Mehdi Hassan. I do know him. Thank you so much. It's actually a very kind comparison. He's a really smart guy. As well as Jeff, thank you for the $10 saying, Dean, don't go into his shoes. He has small feet. Such small feet. Your feet are much bigger than his feet. Huge feet, quite frankly. Thank you for the 10, Jeff. You're awesome. Scarlett with the $20 over on Super Chat saying it's not Trump's delivery, it's delusion. I like that, Scarlett. As well as Naughty with the $20. Let's get 200 Naughty W's. Naughty with the $20 says, another day thinking about how SCOTUS's fall from grace, from civil rights legend Thurgood Marshall to white wannabe Clarence Thomas, and from feminist pillar Ruth Bader Ginsburg to freaky Amy Coney Barrett. What a disappointment. SCOTUS has been disappointing me too recently. I'd also like to quickly thank Christy for the $10 over on Venmo saying happy early birthday. Thank you so much for the love, Christy. Show some love to Christy down below. And then Dylan with the $10. Thank you so much for the love, Dylan. Alexia with the $10 saying, for guests, being louder and interrupting doesn't equate to better delivery. It shows lack of intelligence. Well, thank you for the $10, Alexa. And Max with the 21. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much, Max. He's saying, here's $21 for your 21st birthday. Thank you, Max. Let's get 200 Max W's. And then Danielle with the $10 over on Venmo saying, trying out Venmo before I send my actual donation. If you read this, we're good. No, I read that. And then also, I just wanted to point out, if you do want to support me, my PayPal is banned. The only way that you could support me now is only on Venmo, and you could find the link to my Venmo in the link tree in my bio. But take it away, man. What is the next topic you want to discuss?
Okay, dude, I have a question. Like, what is your problem with kicking people out of the country, right, that committed a crime so they shouldn't be here?
Well, I mean, like my first problem.
Okay, no, this is a simple question, okay?
And I was beginning
This
to
is simple.
answer it.
Okay, go ahead.
Whoa, Jesus Christ. Dean starts answering question, guest interrupts. Calm down. Okay.
Go answer the question.
So my first problem with this position would be that you're a raging hypocrite. If you think that a misdemeanor would warrant removal from a country, how come you don't think that 34 felonies and an adjudication of grape in a civil court would at least at the bare minimum not warrant a removal from the White House?
Well, civil court isn't a felony or a misdemeanor. What is civil court? It's just somebody getting sued for what they did, so that's irrelevant.
Well, I mean,
Also, what are his
relevant.
34 count
It's
felonies?
relevant.
Tell me them
because-
right now.
Yeah, for sure. Falsification of business documentation in the second degree, which would
Bullshit.
be an intent to commit a second step crime.
Yeah, it's just all just BS. Whole tub of BS. That's literally what it is.
No, that's
Those
a
are not
restriction of
actual
the class-
crimes.
It is an actual crime. It's a class C felony in New York, my friend.
Okay, well, good thing that we don't care about those, and good thing that rest of America obviously doesn't care about those either, right? Because he's the president of America.
So if you
So
don't-
obviously I'm right because everybody else thinks that they're just as
Well,
irrelevant.
this is a
as
point
me.
of hypocrisy. You just like said
No, it's not hypocrisy. It's not.
What's hypocritical?
It would be hypocrisy if I think he did, like,
What-
if I think those
what
crimes
is
are
hypocritical?
legit.
What-
I don't think the crimes are legit.
What is
So I
hypocritical?
don't think that he should be guilty of those felonies. Are you following?
How do you know that he's not guilty?
Are you
of-
following? Yes or no?
How do you know that he's not?
I guess that's a no.
The answer to the question would be yes. How do you know that he's not guilty of these crimes if you didn't even know what the crimes were 30 seconds ago when you asked me to tell you?
Because they're BS business crimes, dude. Anybody that's made
they're
that much
bullshit
money
because
in
they're
their
bullshit.
whole life.
So they're bullshit because they're
Yes.
bullshit?
Yes, that's exactly why. Yes, they're
Okay.
bullshit because they're bullshit. Yes,
That's-
100%.
That's not an argument, DJ.
Well, it's an argument to me.
Well, I know because you're stupid.
Okay, and you're stupid too.
Well,
What
I
does that
mean-
make us now?
So the reason why you are and I'm not
Two idiots
is
having a
because-
conversation in front of 15,000 people.
So the reason why you are and I'm not is because I'm not the one giving you a circular argument. Right? Like think about it. Literally just put like 3 seconds of critical thought into this. If you think a valid argument is to say that X is wrong because it's wrong, well then you can't critique my position if it were to be that Trump is a bad president because Trump is a bad president.
Okay, then I have a question. If it's so valid, right? How come more than half of America disagrees with you when he's president then?
So public support for or against a candidate of the presidency doesn't validate or invalidate a crime they were
I'm
found
asking
guilty
you a question. It obviously does because the popular majority of people don't count for those felonies. They obviously don't care enough for those felonies. So obviously it does matter. That's the
Right.
popular opinion,
Right,
Dean.
right. Well,
What are
so-
you lost
so
on
I'm-
here?
So yeah, once again, popular opinion doesn't wouldn't validate or invalidate if an individual is guilty of a crime. Not to mention that like people voted for Trump not because they have compelling reason to believe that the criminal court that found him guilty of 34 felonies was wrong. And my evidence for that would literally be you. All right, you are the one. You are one of the millions of people that like voted for Trump, still support him today, and don't care about the outcome of that criminal court. But when I asked you why you think the outcome of the criminal court was wrong, you just literally said it's wrong because it's wrong. So if you want to tell me that, well, because millions of people think X is the case because they think X is the case, because of millions of people engage in baseless delusion, because of millions of people don't care about reason, factor, logic, they would rather follow a person like Trump as a leader of a cult compared to wanting to do what's actually in the best interest of this country and everybody in it, that
It's
therefore
so
you're
ridiculous.
justified in that own delusion. I honestly just think that you're coping because you're trying to assume that only you're coping because you're trying to assume that even though I could prove you wrong and I could describe you as being absolutely insane, that because so many other people are also insane, you're somehow justified in it. One very
You're so
common way to
ridiculous.
refute the argument that you're giving me right now would be by pointing out that over the course of human history, 90% of people thought that the Earth was flat. So if we had a scientist from NASA teleport back to 1500 and talk to somebody that thought the Earth was flat, give them all the evidence for a spherical Earth, give them all the resources they need to know it to be true, and critique every single argument they had for the idea that the Earth was flat, you would be in the position of that flat earther turning around to that NASA scientist, rejecting all of their reason and rejecting all of their critiques of your own worldview, and just simply relying on the backbone of saying, well, other people also think the Earth is flat, therefore I'm right and you're wrong. Think about it. Right. And then even at the end, you summed up your position on Donald Trump's 34 felonies to be that you don't care. And then you even superimposed that view onto every other American that voted for him in the election. And that is my point, my friend. My one critique of your argument that they committed a crime, therefore they should be removed, is the hypocrisy in suggesting that we should kick people out of the country because of a misdemeanor, but then just let a 34 count felon adjudicated rapist stay in the White House. And your critique to that was to say that you don't care about his felonies and you don't care that he was found to have raped Ishan Carroll. And that's kind of the fucking point. You don't care about a rapist felon running our country, but you care about civilians that provide to our economy being in the country insofar as they have a simple misdemeanor on their record.
Dean, I have a question. You know, maybe this is why the left is having such a hard time for people to like find support or be with them. It's because every single time that there's somebody that disagrees, with your opinion, oh, they're a cult member. Oh, they're a fascist. Oh, they're a racist. Oh, they're a grape apologist. Oh, they don't care about anybody. Do you see, like, that makes you sound so ignorant and just dumb. You ever think about that, Dean?
Have
It's
you ever-
very, like, stupid.
There's one thing that I could think of that you haven't thought of, which is the reasons
What?
why I call you a member of a cult.
You know, you can't possibly jump to that conclusion at all. I have said nothing.
I
Nothing
didn't jump
at
to
all.
that conclusion. I reasoned that conclusion on the base of your baseless suggestion.
Well, your reasoning
that Donald
is
Trump's
incorrect.
You don't even know my reasoning.
I don't need to know because I know who I am as a person, so your reasoning is incorrect.
Just another suggestion that you truly are a member of a cult because you value your own emotions and biases over objective truth. Stop putting your own feelings above truth. It's embarrassing. Okay?
That's what you do. That's what you do.
Okay. Give me a description on how I do that.
You just do it all the time.
Give me an example.
You're feeling. First of all, you're muting me all the time. You're just so emotional,
Okay.
literally all the
Me
time.
muting you
You
because
can't
you're
take me in a
interrupting me is not
one-on-one
me putting
debate.
my
You have to
feelings
just
over the
mute me
truth.
back and forth.
So give me an
What?
example of me placing my feelings over truth.
What do you mean?
You said that I do this all the time. Can you give me an
Yeah,
example?
you just lie all the time.
Can you
just
give an
lie.
example of one of the lies that I say all the
disingenuous.
time?
You don't just straight up lie. It's just the way you play on your words.
Hey, Mr. Baby Man, would you stop whining and give me an example to justify your point?
I just told you, Dean. I don't know like what you're not following. I literally just told you. It's the way that you set up your questions, your hypotheticals, the way you set up the words. It's a very disingenuous thing in a way. And everybody,
Can
a lot
you
of
give me
people
an
notice that.
example?
The only people that can't, I can't give you an example off the top of my head while I'm having a
Oh.
debate about you about something else. Yeah.
Oh wow, so you can't justify
I can't. I'm sorry.
yet more reason to believe that you're a member of a cult.
No, I'm not a member of a cult. What's the definition of a member of a cult?
You?
No, that's not a good definition, Dean. Hate to break it to you.
For sure. I'll give you a better one. I'd say the
There
member
you
of a
go.
cult is somebody that places their own feelings over reality and thinks that their feelings build reality instead
That's
of reality.
Google?
Now you're interrupting me, my friend. What
Is
am I
that
gonna do
Google?
here? No, it's not Google.
Oh, so I don't want that definition. I want Google's, not yours.
Okay, then go look it up on Google and don't ask me.
See, this is you doing it right now. I ask you for a definition of something, and you give me your definition. No, I want the actual definition.
Yes, I gave you my definition because you asked
No,
me
I
for
want
my
the
definition.
actual, Dean. What don't you understand? I want the
Okay,
actual. I want
if-
the actual definition, not your definition. Not your definition. Okay.
If you want anything other than my definition, go look it up.
No, I can't look it up, Dean. My screen is locked.
Okay, I mean that sucks to suck because when you ask me for my definition, I will only be
Isn't
able
it
to,
funny? Like, three.
when you ask me for my definition, I will only ever be able to provide you my definition.
I didn't ask for your definition. I asked for what's the definition.
Wait, do you think that definitions of words are objective?
I don't know.
You don't know? Of course you have no fucking clue because you haven't thought this deep ever before in your life. So the way that
Why are
we
you so
define-
mad?
Wait, I'm not mad just because I'm detailing reality as it is. But yeah, you just caught a harassment and bullying violation, so I gotta kick you and move on to the next guest. Go ahead and hop in that QView Sport Trump. We're gonna move on from DJ the man child and get BLT in the live. Hop in that QView Sport Trump. As well as Edward!
Yo.
Thank you so much for the 100 Canadian dollars over on Super Chat. Edward, that is insane. Thank you so much for the love. Seriously, that is so very, very kind of you, Edward. Let's get 1,000 Edward W's down below right now, guys. Thank you so much for your kindness. 1,000 Edward W's. That is literally so kind of you. You're so incredibly generous, and I'm very grateful and thankful for your support, my man. Show some love to Edward down below in that chat, you guys. Let's get 1,000 Edward W's. Welcome into Sport Trump.
Yeah. What's up? I'm a
That
little
would be a
sick right now,
child. Have a good one. But Edward, seriously, thank you. As well as Matt, thank you for the $20 super chat saying guest definitely eats beans right out of the can. Happy birthday. Well, thank you for the love, Matt. Thank you so much. Let's get 200 Mad W's down below in that chat while we're looking for that next guest. That is very kind of you. As well as Coral with another 20 saying, well, got called back to work. Hope the rest of your guests are less insufferable than DJ. Coral, have a nice rest of your day and your shift. Thank you for the $20, Coral. Show some love to Coral down below. Welcome in. Are you MAGA?
I am. I actually spoke with you already. Hi.
Hi. Oh, were you the one that would yap, and then I had to kick you because you were talking about stuff that I told you couldn't talk about? Then you got a flag?
No. You were talking about my repost that really just I felt was irrelevant. I don't know why we were on the subject of my repost.
Probably because it was really bad. I don't know. Let me see. Oh, yeah, it's the liberal men repost. No, that did get me a flag too. Yeah, we can't talk about that repost, but basically, at the end of the day, it was a suggestion that depending on your sexual
Right.
orientation as a man, you have like lower levels of testosterone. You guys could fill in the blanks. I just can't do it for you because of
Right.
TikTok
I
terms
didn't
of
really
service.
care to talk about that either, to be honest, because I found that irrelevant. Like,
Well, the reason I
I
didn't
mean,
find it irrelevant is because I find it very like harmful to stereotype gay men in such a way.
it was honestly the video. The reason being I actually reposted it was because it was just an answer, a reposted answer, honestly.
Right. So we're never going to be able to work past that point because you just simply don't
Probably
have the
not.
rational faculties to.
And actually, the reason being I actually wanted to come on here, to be honest, again, was to maybe point out, maybe you don't realize, you're honestly pretty darn rude to your guests, to be honest, by muting them.
I don't think I'm nice, and I can be rude
No,
sometimes.
you're not. You're honestly really not.
Right, but usually when I'm
You
rude,
could be nicer. You could honestly be nicer.
okay, I can be nicer. So can the president, and you support him, so it doesn't really seem like it matters that much to you.
No, because I believe he's actually nice. He would not mute anybody. He listens very thoroughly, to be honest.
But not only has he like attempted to mute people, but like he's also like literally defunded news organizations that disagreed with him, like NBC and PBS. Not to mention that he called other news organizations that have negatively reported on him literally illegal, saying that they don't have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech in the press. So I'd say one is objectively worse than the other.
To me, irrelevant what you just said, honestly, because of the fact that,
Of course,
like
it's
I
irrelevant.
said,
Of course, it's
he
irrelevant,
listens.
my
He
friend.
listens very thoroughly. He doesn't interrupt, and he doesn't call other people communists or racist or rapists.
He has literally accused other people of being all three of those.
Since when?
Yeah, he accused Kamala Harris of being a communist. I think he's accused Obama of being a racist, and he accused Bill Clinton of being a rapist.
I don't recall. And where's the proof?
The one for Kamala Harris, the proof would be rooted in their debate about 3 or 4 months ago. The one for Obama, I'd have to get that resource for you. I just vaguely remember that. And then the one for Bill Clinton was one of his like get-togethers with the press in the Oval Office, like literally last week. He said he was on the Epstein files.
Still no proof. how he's made other people look out to be rapists or
All right. If you don't accept that as proof, we're going to move on to the next guest because you've simply lost the plot. We're going to load up that next guest, Peter, right now, folks. We're going to load up that next guest, Peter, right now. While we're loading Peter up, very quickly, I would like to thank Kelly for the $20 over on Venmo. Thank you for the love, Kelly. Kelly says, thank you for all that you do. You are keeping me distracted after recovering from donating my kidney to my husband. Kelly, oh my God. Show some love to Kelly down below. That is like one of the most like kind, benevolent things I think a human being can do for somebody that they love. Holy shit, Kelly. You are a fantastic human being. Dude, show some love to Kelly down below in that chat. You are very seriously a fantastic person. Welcome in. What's up, Peter? Do you support Trump?
Hey, Dean. Hey, Dean, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you MAGA?
I mean, MAGA is an extension, but I mean, would be a little bit. I definitely
you
do
driving?
support, Donald Trump. Yeah, I am driving right now.
All right, can't have you on the live when you're driving, my friend. If you're in that queue, make sure that you're an American adult that supports Trump as president that is not driving. We'll get you pulled up here. Also, Tracy, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. Thank you for the love, Tracy. And Danielle, oh my goodness gracious. Danielle, thank you for the $200 on Venmo. Oh my God, Danielle. Danielle found her way over to the Venmo after the PayPal got taken down. Danielle, you are so kind. Thank you for the love. Holy shit, that is so much money. I do not deserve a penny of that. Danielle, I love you. Thank you so much for the kindness. Seriously, let's get 2,000 Danielle W's down below. Danielle says, so grateful for you. Don't get alcohol poisoning next week. 1 glass of water for every drink. Now that is actually true. You should all do that. That'll keep you feeling better the next morning. I'm not like I know or anything. And don't fall asleep on your back. Happy early birthday. Thank you for the love, Danielle. You've been so kind to me over the course of the last couple months. I love you. We all love you. And that is seriously so very kind of you. Let's show some love to Danielle down below in that chat, everybody, please. Let's get 2,000 Danielle W's, as well as Shaw. Thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Thank you for the love, Shaw. Then Erica with a 20, saying that last cult member was hilarious. Good job running him around, Dean. Hilarious. Yeah, DJ was a little nuts, but appreciate you for the $20, Erica, as well as Jay Dunn with the $5. Thank you so much for the love. Oh, Jay Dunn says another leftist slur for trans person committing crimes. Your favorite person, your favorite people signed "We the People of Colorado do not claim you, little bro." Here's exactly what I'm going to do for you, Jay Dunn. I'm going to take your donation, I'm going to multiply it by 20, and then I'm going to donate it to a charity specifically for homeless trans youth. I think I came across one or two really good charities for homeless trans youth when I was doing some research for charities that I wanted to fundraise for last year. And I'm not kidding, Jay Dunn. I'm seriously going to donate $100 to them in your name. Welcome in, ID. What's up? Do you support Trump? I'm not joking about that either. I'm actually going to do that. What's
Can
up,
you hear
man?
me?
Yeah. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how do you?
I am 25, turning 26 in 2 weeks.
Great. Why do you support Trump?
I support Trump for a couple different reasons, and this is where you and I might see a little bit differently because I'm very familiar with you. I've seen you on the Jubilee videos with, I believe, Charlie Kirk, correct?
Yeah, I went on one with Kirk.
Yeah. So I do believe in Jesus Christ, and that is something that is very important for me. That's a whole separate conversation. I don't really want to get into that, but for that viewpoint and that core value of mine, I believe that Trump brings a lot of Christian values to America.
Really? Which ones?
As far as putting our Lord God in as the first priority.
Oh, really? If God was his first priority, then how come he's passing economic legislation to take from the poor and give to the rich when God makes it clear in Psalms 32 that if you give to those that are more needy than yourself, you'll be given great glory in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus literally made Matthew quit his job as a tax collector on the poor in order to become one of his apostles.
Yeah, but Jesus also said, give to Caesar what is Caesar's. So if the law requires you to do something, he also says, give to Caesar what is Caesar. And if obviously we're not in Rome, but this is America. So if it's give to our government, then we give to our government. But as a Christian,
well, I'm going to respond to that real
soul-
quick because you basically
Sure.
just said that, okay, Dean, I get it. Donald Trump is not putting God first within the policy that he passes, but God told you to follow whatever your leader does, regardless if they put God first. So that was just a self-critiquing argument.
Okay, so I want to be respectful here. I don't want to get into a back and forth thing. I'm not going to be one of those conservatives that hype and get angry like JD was earlier. I'm going to be respectful. I didn't say that though. You just put words in my mouth.
Yes, you did. You said that Jesus says to give Caesar what Caesar wants, or something along those lines. Just basically, follow the law of your government. So first and foremost, Donald Trump has broken the law for government, 34 felonies, was held civilly liable for the rape of E. Jean Carroll, was found to have defrauded children at Trump University, a couple other fraud cases, concealing documents, et cetera, et cetera. Day one, he passed executive order number 14160 that violated the 14th Amendment of our Constitution. Day 50, he called for termination of the 22nd Amendment because he said he might want to run for a third term and even described the ways in which he could do it. Then, yesterday, he violated the First Amendment by trying to make it illegal to burn the American flag when that's explicitly protected under your right to freedom of expression. So, I mean, he's now breaking Jesus's teachings of following the law of the government, but he's now shaping the law of the government into a less Christian view because he wants the law of our government to contradict the teachings of God, contradict God telling us to provide to those that are more needy than ourselves, contradict notions described in the Bible of caring about everybody, not just rich white men, contradict notions of looking out for everybody, not being exclusionary. Evidence of that would be his attempted Muslim ban, and so on and so forth.
Hey, can I just say something real quick? I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you pull up a Bible verse that says that we need to take care of everybody?
Like I was referencing Psalms 32, saying, if you provide to those that are more needy than yourself, then you will be given great glory in the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, but that's not what you just said. You said that we have to take that. You made reference that we have to take care of everybody. That's what the Lord says, and that's unconstitutional, and that goes against what God said.
I think either what I said or what I meant to say was treating everybody as an equal. And obviously, when you have policy in which would, say, make the richest among us better off at the detriment of like low-income Americans, you're obviously introducing more inequality.
Yeah, but so the important thing about Christianity is that everyone is equal in the eyes of God.
Well, not
and I
in
think
the eyes
a lot
of
of people,
Trump.
I'm not going to speak for Trump. I'm going to speak for what I know what the Bible says. And so the Bible says that we are equal in God's eyes, sinners all alike, murderers all alike.
I have a question. Do you think that you should look out for those that you love?
Are you talking like in a marriage standpoint or in just a general, like if I care for somebody, I should probably look out?
Yeah, if you care, if you love somebody, should you look out for them?
I feel like, I don't know. That's kind of an open-ended, subjective question.
Well,
it is.
Well, it's subjective to you and your response. So I'd appreciate it if you could give me your subjective response. Should you look out for those that you care about? Should you look out for those that you love?
Sure. From a broad sense of things, yeah, you could say yes.
Okay. And earlier you asked me for a verse in the Bible where God says to look out for everyone. Well, doesn't God say to love thy neighbor?
God does say to love your neighbor.
Okay, case made.
No. Loving is subjective, Dean. Love can mean many things. Does that mean, since I love everybody, does that mean I have to have sex with everybody? To your point?
What?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean I have sex with everybody. Love means very many different things. It doesn't mean I have to take care of everybody just because I love somebody. I have a general love for everybody because that is what God calls me to do. Does it mean I have to take care of every single person? Maybe. And that's subjective. That's why I'm saying that the answer is subjective, because I could take everybody, I could take care of everybody spiritually.
I think you're throwing around like the word subjective here to be like intentionally vague, misleading, and to muddy the waters on how you understand these concepts from your perspective.
I'm really trying not to be vague, but it's also Christianity is it's kind of open-ended with what you believe and what it's interpersonal with God.
So now you're just telling me that like Christianity as a whole is open-ended and interpersonal, and it's so like interpersonal that you can't even give your personal understanding of these concepts from the Bible. Well, then how could you possibly?
What do you want to know?
Yeah, I asked you if you think that you should look out for those that you care about, that you love, and you said yes. So then as soon as I bring up that, God tells you to love thy neighbor, all of a sudden you don't even know what love means.
No, well, okay. If you want to spin it that way, you can.
And then also, so the original Greek word for love that we find in verses in the Bible relating the sense of the idea that God thinks that you're supposed to love thy neighbor is very clear. It basically communicates a sentiment of being selfless, unconditional, and sacrificial.
Right. Absolutely. I would agree with that.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously you should care for those, right, that you want to be selfless towards. You should care for those that you hold an unconditional and sacrificial form of love too.
Right. Okay. Sorry. We're kind of off track with, I'm acknowledging your point. I do agree with you with love. I do think in a general sense, you should take care of everybody. Yeah. I kind of just got a little too analytical in my own brain of.
Okay. So then you just agreed with a Christian value that Donald Trump detests, that in a general sense, you should take care of everyone. And here's a zinger. Did you know that Trump's not even a Christian?
So did Obama take care of everybody?
Well, I think our conversation is about Trump.
Oh, no, I know. But this is a good point here because people call Trump the biggest racist and the biggest, like, the whole immigration thing with the wall. He's like this bigot.
Okay, we'll get on to letting you make.
No. Wait, let me finish my point. You've been hyping about not being
The reason I'm not letting you finish your point is because we haven't finished our conversation about Christianity yet and how it would apply to how Donald Trump is running America. And now you want to change the argument into a discussion about the immigration policy of Obama compared to Trump. Because that is just so significantly far off base of the conversation that you brought up that you wanted to have about how you think that Donald Trump is a good Christian and is applying Christian values to America. I'm going to cut off your mic. I'm going to describe that we need to stay on topic and direct you back to the main theme that I want to discuss with you, which once again is relationship between Donald Trump, the Christian God, and the way that he governs our country. I have made multiple incredibly strong and clear cases that he does not govern America in a Christian way. And now I'm going to go ahead and hammer the nail in the coffin with one final point. Trump isn't even a Christian. Trump doesn't have a relationship with God, and he's admitted to it.
Am I allowed to speak now?
Yeah, how do you feel about that point? Trump isn't a Christian. He doesn't have a relationship to
That's
God,
not-
and he's admitted
that's
to
not
it.
true. That's not true.
Would
You
you
can
like
look
my
it up.
argument to show that it is true?
No, because you're probably going to pull up some sidearm conversation on your computer where I don't have access
I'm going
to
to pull
it.
up scripture. You don't want to discuss
Wait.
scripture in front of
Can I just
over
can I
10,000
address
people?
one thing you said before you go on your tangent here, real quick?
Now
Just
he
one
wants to
thing.
run away from talking about the scripture that he thinks is so
Nope,
important.
I'm
Go
going to
ahead.
bring it back. I'm going to bring it back right to it. If I'm allowed to speak, I will bring it right back to it. Am I good?
Speak.
Okay. The only thing, like the general theme was of like you saying about the Christian values with Trump. I brought up the immigration about Obama because you said you brought in the scope of, well, you should take care of everybody. So that gets rid of the Christian value, more or less. And so I bring up Obama's immigration when he deported actually 4 times the amount as Donald Trump has in his presidency. But nobody talks about that. Nobody knows about that because nobody does the research for that. But but Biden got all praise for what he did. But when Trump does it, and he does it on a fourth of the scale that Obama did, he's called a racist and blah 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 blah. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on here. If I get banned, whatever. I don't know what I'm new to this, so. But so is that a general sense of love for everybody? And Obama, I can't recall if Obama was Christian or not. I think he was Buddhist, if that's right. I don't know. You might know more than I would, but
He was Christian.
he was Christian. Okay, so is that self-love for everybody? Does that demote Barack Obama as a Christian? No. It makes us all what we are from birth, which is sinners. We all sin, and without God, there's no hope for any of us. So that's the point I'm making. So regardless of if Trump does something, hey, and listen, I'm a Trump supporter. I don't agree with everything that he does.
Let me know
There's
when I
times
can
where I'm
talk.
like, okay, sorry. If you want to, I said a lot. You probably need to address some things.
So yeah, like once again, like the main theme of the argument that you just made about a comparison between Obama's deportation policy, immigration policy as a whole, and Trump's is a pivot that I've already described to you. I could like entertain this conversation. I could describe to you the differences between Obama's immigration policy and Trump's immigration policy. I could bring up that Obama focused on the removal of undocumented immigrants with prior criminal offenses. Not only did he say this, but he acted on that by creating work programs such as DACA to give undocumented immigrants without prior criminal offenses the ability to work in America. And I could bring up how Donald Trump wants to remove every single undocumented immigrant from America. I could bring up how Obama didn't deport people in violation of their constitutional rights, unlike Donald Trump, who's illegally deported people to CCOT in El Salvador, where they were beaten and tortured. How Trump has unapologetically deported undocumented immigrants without giving them due process. How he has violated the constitutional rights of hundreds of thousands of citizens that were born to undocumented immigrants in this country by attempting to take their birthright citizenship away. I could talk about Alligator Alcatraz, how it's propped up in 8 days. Terrible humanitarian, terrible humanitarian issues, giving people 1 meal a day with maggots in them. And I could talk about all those differences. But before we talk about those differences, let's finish up on the Christianity topic, because that's what you came up here to discuss. And at the end of your statements on Obama there, you brought up something very interesting. You brought up how you think Obama has done a lot of things that are antithetical to that of the Christian worldview. And then you just said, well, am I going to judge him for that? No, because he's a sinner. So basically, you're suggesting a non-falsifiable hypothesis to me. Your non-falsifiable hypothesis is that Donald Trump is a good Christian that's doing good Christian things for the country. Because if there's any data points to represent one of his failures and not doing good by the Christian Bible in America as our president, you just say, well, that's a sin and we all sin, so why should we judge him, right? So that's my main issue with your argument. But my secondary point that you never even responded to, which was the nail in the coffin, is that Donald Trump isn't even a Christian. And we'll continue to talk about the sins, because in accordance with the Christian faith, what do you do when you sin? And how can you maintain a relationship with God while being a sinner?
Are you genuinely asking me that, or I feel like you're being obnoxious right now with that question? I feel like that answer is very obvious.
Then the very obvious answer is what? You repent to God, right?
So repent and turn back to God.
Yeah, repent. And in fact, you have to repent to God for your sins if you have a relationship with God. That's why James 2 says faith without work, such as repentance, is dead, right?
was dead. Yeah.
Right. So we'd say here that repentance is necessary in order to have a relationship with God, right?
100%. Yeah.
100%. Well, guess what? Trump has said that he's never asked God for forgiveness a day in his life. But really quickly, I got to take a call. This should be 30 seconds. This is from PayPal. In fact, I'm going to invite Parker to come up here and talk to you.
Oh boy. Yeah. I know who Parker is. Plenty of time. I meant to make that turn. But yeah, we got plenty of time.
Hey, okay. Hey, everybody. I'm here to be Timu Dean. So, and there's Parker. Hey, Parker.
What's good, everyone? Hello. Oh, shit. Hello, we're here. Dean, what's up, everyone? Joining in the stream right now. How's everyone doing? Dean is here. Dude, what's up?
No, not
You
much.
support Donald Trump?
ID, we're talking to you.
Oh, hey, sorry.
Yeah, do you support Donald Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Are you driving?
No, my buddy's driving. We're going golfing here. I'm in the
Okay, so
passenger seat.
why do you support Donald Trump?
He was talking about God, Parker. He was talking about how much of a great Christian he is.
Okay, how are you a great Christian?
I didn't say those words.
No, not you. I meant like Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump, the great Christian.
Well, there's actually footage of him tithing at a church. There's also him publicly speaking. I can't give you the exact speeches, but there are multiple of him addressing God, and that there is the most. It actually goes something like this. He goes, somebody comes up to me and he goes, "You're like the most famous person ever," and he goes, "No, not me. That's Jesus Christ." And there's like other.
Can I tell you something? He said that he never asked God for forgiveness ever.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, and then time date that. Look it up
Yeah.
and then tell me what the date of when that happened was. It
Yeah,
was right before
2016,
all of this.
2015. Why does that matter?
Because that was before he was president, and that was before he had actually given his life to Christ, which was, I'm pretty sure, in the last like 2 years.
What? In
He
the
had
last
given-
2 years, he then just gave his. He's been saying he's a Christian since before then. So you agree that he was grifting for attention based upon the idea that he was Christian in order to get people's votes when he wasn't actually Christian.
Did I say anything remotely close to that?
No, he is. Okay, if you acknowledge that it is the case that Donald Trump wasn't actually a Christian, well, then he was portraying himself as a Christian in order to get people's vote. Okay, well, that's exactly what he did in his first run and his second run. If it is the case only 2 years ago, it is the case then he became a Christian and then he gave his life to Christ. So before that, he was just grifting based upon the idea of being a Christian.
I cannot confirm or deny that. I don't know him personally on a spiritual level, but based off of what I've seen from the public and what I've seen from, or not from the public, but from speeches and presidential addresses or whatever, he has publicly announced that he does believe in Jesus and that he is somebody. But okay, like
Wait, Kamala
I don't
Harris
wanna
does
go
as well.
Too far off track with this, because my point with that is the reason why I voted for Trump is because he even remotely brings, like he brings Christianity to the presidential office when the last few presidents we've had hasn't
He
really.
brings your version of Christianity to the office.
Yeah, Kamala Harris is Christian. Joe Biden's Christian. What are you talking about?
Okay, yeah, and tell me one time that they've brought up Jesus Christ in the public.
Joe Biden brought
Does
it
that
up
matter to you?
regularly. He's a Catholic. He attended church every Sunday. He brought up often the fact about how he was trying to live an example of Jesus. This was imbued in his speeches. Like you must not have listened to Joe Biden very often, because he often referenced his Catholic faith.
Okay, well, Catholic is different. Okay.
No, Catholic is Christian. Don't play that game.
It is, but it's very different. There's different sectors. That's like comparing me to an LDS member. It's very different.
They're still Christian, right?
Yeah, still Christian, right? They
In a
accept
way,
Jesus
they
as
believe
Lord
in
and
Jesus
Savior.
Christ, but the fundamentals and the doctrines are so off. And Parker, you can agree with me on that. I know you're very well versed in
Well, then you
theology.
only accept like a few percent of Christians.
Say that one more time.
Then you only accept a few percent of Christians that
Not
have your
necessarily,
particular
but
view?
there are doctrinal errors with Mormonism that have been proven.
Wait, but you
to
would
be
say
wrong.
that's true with every single perspective that is not yours.
No, I've actually been known to be very open to hearing out other people and to hear other religious.
Can you name one other religious denomination within Christianity that you think is acceptable?
I think so. To give you just a short, brief background so you kind of understand, I grew up Nazarene. I left the Nazarene church when I was in college, and I decided to just go, all right, I'm not a part of a sector, so I'm going to go non-denominational, and I just went off of what the Bible says. So I don't know what sect that is technically, but yes, I am kind of on my own spiritual journey of what the Bible says is what I'm taking into my faith instead of having a
So can you name one other denomination that you would think you would accept?
I would accept all denominations if they believe that Jesus Christ was the one and only God and that he died on the cross for our sins and rose
So
again. That
LDS?
is what I accept.
So LDS?
Yes, but also at the end of the day, I'm not the judge. God's the judge. So it doesn't matter what I think because I only know so much.
You are kind of judging Catholics, though.
Yeah, you were saying they weren't Christian. You were talking like LDS weren't Christian.
Well, they are Christian, but it's a different type of Christian. It's just like how there's
Well, no, that's every denomination. Donald Trump is a different type of Christian than you are, yet you think he's within your standard of acceptance.
if he has repented and come to Christ, and yeah, he's
Wait, he said that he never asked God forgiveness. Can you give me one piece of evidence
was
that
before.
indicates he's
That's
ever
what I said.
repented in his life?
Dude, I wasn't at his baptism. I don't know.
Wait, can you just give me one piece of evidence that he's ever repented for anything?
Again, I don't know. I don't know if you have repented. I don't know if my best friend has repented. Spirituality is such a personal experience for everybody.
Okay. Then how can you say that Kamala Harris doesn't represent this more than Donald Trump?
I didn't say Kamala Harris. When did I ever
Well,
bring
you're
up
making a
Kamala Harris?
comparison of who you think is a better candidate, correct?
No.
What?
What do
Okay,
you-
if you could go back in
I'm
time and you
confused
could either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
I would vote for Donald Trump because
Okay,
I am.
is it comparative analysis? Why would you do that?
Values.
Why would you do that?
Why would I do that?
Yeah.
Because I'm a conservative and I have conservative values, and Trump aligns with my conservative values over Kamala Harris.
Such as Kamala.
Kamala actually publicly
Kamala.
denounced Jesus.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did, and it went
When?
viral, and you guys all know it.
No,
That
she
is
didn't.
one-
That was specifically
Yes, it
her saying to someone who is a Trump supporter who was heckling the crowd that they should go to the Trump rally down the street.
That's
She's
not
Christian
true.
herself.
That is not true.
Wait. How can you say that what her religious journey is,
No.
whether or not she's Christian, whether or not
You are
she's
spreading
repented,
false
in the same way that you can't say
information
that about
in front
Donald
of 10,000
Trump?
people right now.
What's up?
You are spreading false information in front of 10,000 people right now.
No, I'm
That
not.
is not what the crowd said. The
You-
guy
you-
walked in
you
and he
support a
said-
grifter.
He said Jesus is king, and she told him to
That
get
wasn't.
out
It
and
was,
said,
so
"You
she
are in the
wasn't
wrong
saying that
place."
in response to them saying Jesus is king. She was saying that in response to them being a Trump supporter heckling the crowd, and she was telling them to go to the Trump rally down the street. You should look at context, read into context before you just believe whatever you see on like Facebook.
Yeah, no, I'm not looking at Facebook. I'm looking at multiple things. That is indeed
BitChute,
what.
then.
That is what-
BitChute, 4chan,
Did you ask me
X.
a question? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
X, Fox News.
There are multiple sources. I'm
Yeah, those are all your sources. Can you name one source outside of what I just said?
X and Fox News,
Name
That's-
one outside of the ones I just said.
CNN, CBS.
You look at those?
Newsmax.
You accept CBS?
Dude, you got to look at all media sources in order to take in one thing. You can't just
I
look
thought
at Fox
Trump
News.
says that's the fake news media.
You can't just look at Fox News. You can't just look at CNN. Otherwise, you're just biased. And you're
So
gonna
you watch fake news.
I look at all things to consume all information. That doesn't mean my decision is based off of what I hear on one specific source. And I
But you
feel
just
like-
said you get your news from fake news. Okay, I gotta go. Have fun, Matt.
Brett Parker, take yourself.
Bye, Dean.
So we still haven't heard about Trump's glorious. So he says a lot of things about believing in Christ, but I wonder how much he's read the Bible. I wonder if he's still, his favorite book is 2 Corinthians, right? Like, see, that's the problem that I have is that he doesn't exude the type of responsibility and the type of teachings that Jesus would do. Dean was asking you about the meaning of love, right? And he doesn't exemplify like the agape, right? The Greek, like that kind of sacrificial love. I don't think that people say that he's super Christian. I don't think people understand what actually being Christian actually means in like practice.
Right, but like, let me ask you a question then. What like, I don't know if you believe in God or not. I don't know you. Okay, so you don't believe in God, and so what is being a Christian? Can you answer that question?
Well, I mean,
like that's
no,
a very hard question, right?
No. The actual definition of being a Christian is simply believing that Jesus is the Messiah, that he died on the cross for your sins, and that he is the Son of God, right? That he is one with God. I fully accept that Trump believes that, right? But he doesn't act like it. His policies are not Christ
that's
at
it.
all. Do what?
Yeah, okay, but then also it says in the Bible, though, I gave you 2 commandments. It's to love your neighbor and to love the Lord your God with your heart, mind, and soul. That's Romans 9:10.
And Mark 12, yes.
So I like that. Right. And so as long as you do those things, I feel like that's pretty good. You don't get into heaven just because you only read a certain amount of the Bible,
Trump may
right?
love God with all his heart, mind, and soul, but he doesn't love his neighbor.
To your liking, though, right? Because there are several examples where he has been generous and he has shown love, but has he shown love all the time? No. And that's called being human, because I'm a good person. I consider myself a good person. Do I show love all the time?
No one's asking him to be Jesus Christ here, right? But his policies on every single level do not represent what it means to be Christian. That's why I don't understand why people bring this up, because if you look at his policies, each of them, one by one, the ones that actually have a material impact on people's lives, they are so anti-Christian, that they are so anti-people. Jesus himself talks so much about the poor, about the needy, about helping people. Jesus never asked somebody, hey, do you have any money to do that? Do you have a job, right? Do you have all these things? Like, I don't understand how the right co-opted what it means to be Christian, because I think that the left are the ones who are actually exemplifying good Christian values. And with that, I'll let Dean have it back. Thank you, Dean, and I hope you got it.
Matt, I really appreciate you for being able to come up here on a dime. Parker, if you're still watching, thank you as well. I was told I was going to get a call from some PayPal supervisor to kind of go over some of my issues there at some random point today. I had no clue when. It's just that the phone rang and I had to take the call. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Matt.
Oh, yeah, you're very welcome. And I thank you to Kelly for the $10 too on Venmo. Thank you. So give a good live, Dean. Take care of yourself, okay?
Thank you so much, man. You as well. Yep. Bye-bye, Matt.
Bye, dude. Take care.
All right, Mr. ID Collects, where did you leave off with the Matt, the myth, the legend?
We were talking about how he doesn't understand that Trump doesn't really show the values of being a Christian, and yeah, that was kind of what he was.
Okay, yeah, no, he totally doesn't. So what was your takeaway from that?
I kind of address it like here. I know I'm seeing a lot of people in the comments frustrated, and they probably want somebody else on, but I started off this conversation with, I told you that I'm a Christian. All of you guys don't believe in, and that's fine. We're not going to see eye to eye on those things.
Okay, you're not answering the question. Let me ask you a better question. In like one sentence in one sentence or less, name one core Christian value that Donald Trump has made clear he wants America to follow.
That God is important.
Okay, and how has he made that value clear?
As I addressed to Parker and Matt, he has, in several speeches, pointed out God is the true one and only, or Jesus is the one and only Son of God.
So you care more about.
Again, he's been seen at
so
churches,
you care more.
Tithing,
so you care more.
Bibles, he's been doing all this stuff.
So you care more about Donald Trump using Christianity as a grift than actually ensuring that our government and the policy consequential of our government furthers the Christian worldview. Have you ever heard of a false preacher before?
The government isn't.
Have you ever heard of a false preacher before?
Yes, it talks about it in Deuteronomy.
What's a false preacher?
You mean a false prophet? Is that what you're referring to?
I mean false preacher.
Okay. It's somebody who preaches on the behalf of God when God and says something on the behalf of God that isn't true and isn't accurate.
Okay. So do you think an example of a false preacher would be as follows? Somebody that claims that, God is real and God is important, but then acts opposite or adjacent to the teaching that of God, and tries to get others to act opposite or adjacent the teachings that of God under the guise of being truly what God would want?
No, I don't, because it depends on the heart and mind, right? It's like...
Okay. You're not answering my question clearly, so you've been muted. Let me ask a better one. Is it wrong to try to get other people to do bad things under the guise of following God?
You got to repeat that.
Is it wrong to get other people to do bad things under the guise of doing what is godly?
But how do you define what is being godly? I'm confused. What are
Things
you
that are good in
referencing
accordance.
specifically
Things that are
Trump
good
is saying?
things that are good in accordance with the Christian religion.
Too specific as what? That means a ton of things, Dean.
Yeah, but the specifics wouldn't matter. Just like anything that is good in accordance with the Christian religion. Saying that God wants you to do something that is bad in accordance with the Christian religion, is that evil?
Again, what has Trump said?
You're not answering the question. I'm going to give you one last
topic.
opportunity to
I'm
answer the
trying to bring
question.
it back to
You're not answering the goddamn question. You're not answering the question. Right now, you're saying, Dean, I'm not going to answer your question. So answer the fucking question, or I'm going to move on, and I'm going to kick you. Is it evil to get people to do bad things under the guise of following God?
Dean, I don't understand. I don't understand.
You don't understand Is there anybody else in here who doesn't understand the question? Is there anybody else in here that does not understand the question? Or do we all understand the question?
You're asking and you're threatening to kick me.
No.
That's
So
how you lose a debate one-on-one.
what exactly about the question that I'm asking you is unclear? Keep in mind the question is it bad to get people to do bad things under the guise of following what God would want you to do?
Yes, but again,
you answered yes. So you actually you do understand the question.
No,
okay.
I did not just say yes. I said under the circumstances. Look at the disciples. What the disciples taught everybody was wrong according to the government during that time. But Jesus said it was right.
What the fuck? Are you gaslighting? You gaslighting
You're
MFer.
asking and you're threatening to kick me.
No.
That's how you lose a debate one-on-one.
What exactly about the question that I'm asking you is unclear? Keep in mind the question is it bad to get people to do bad things under the guise of following what God would want you to do?
Yes, but again,
you answered yes. So you actually you do understand the question.
No,
okay.
I did not just say yes. I said under.
Ooh! What the fuck? Why are you playing these games? Stop playing games.
Can I speak?
Yeah, but you're playing games. Stop playing games with me.
I was sorry. This is going to sound like an excuse, and you can play it that way all you want. I was saying yes to the statement. I wasn't saying yes to your answer. I was trying to say yes.
It wasn't a statement or an answer. It was a question. Good day. Moving on to the next guest. Hop in that QView Sports Trump. We'll get you pulled up here. Yo, Cinda, thank you so much for the $20 super set. For this $20 super chat, Cinda, I really appreciate you for that love. That is CINDA. Cinda with the $20 super chat says, thanks, Dean. Appreciate what you do. I thought Trump required and was paid to go to a church service at times. That's not what a Christian normally does, in my opinion, of course. Yeah, no, he's not even a Christian. It's not just that he's a bad Christian. He's not a Christian, point blank, period. Thank you for the $20, Cinda. Show some love to Cinda down below. As well as Fanatic, thank you for the $5 over on Super Chat saying, hey, Dean, you just got a shout out on the Roland Martin show. I don't know who that is. I'll have to check them out. Thank you. As well as, let's see who else here. Sarah, thank you for the 50 Canadian dollars over on Super Chat. While we're loading up that next Trump supporter, show some love to Sarah down below. Thank you so much, Sarah. Sarah with the 50 Canadian dollars says, Dean, you need to find a replacement for PayPal. Venmo doesn't exist in Canada, so we are now only able to donate to you via YouTube Super Chat. Well, don't worry. I'm working tirelessly to attempt to get the PayPal back. Even that phone call that I just got on was me trying to get it back. By the way, they were not helpful at all, and the conversation wasn't furthered. I'm trying really hard. Just know that I really appreciate you for the 50 Canadian dollars and going out of your way to support me on something that you usually wouldn't, or just supporting me at all is very kind of you. And thank you so much. Welcome in, Ben. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay. What the hell? 1 second. That's weird. Can't say that on live. How old are you?
55.
And why do you support Trump?
Better than the alternative.
Better than the alternative. And why do you think that Donald Trump is doing a better job right now than Kamala Harris would be if she won the election?
Kamala Harris in 2011 in a case called Brown versus Plata defied the Supreme Court. Her office fought tooth and nail against their decision to release 46,000 nonviolent American prisoners from California prison system because their rights were being violated. She stated that her office stated that the California Supreme Court and the United States Supreme Court did not have jurisdiction over her office, and then also that they needed those prisoners for labor. That is state-sanctioned slavery for 46,000 Americans. Nothing Trump has done equals that.
Okay. Could you please give me resources on this?
Yeah, Brown versus Plata, Plata, 2011 Supreme Court decision.
Okay. And what was... So should we read it together?
Sure.
Okay. In Brown versus Plata, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that California's prison overcrowding violated inmates' Eighth Amendment rights against cruel and unusual punishment, upholding a lower court's order for the state to reduce its prison population to provide adequate medical and mental health care. The court found that prison crowding was the primary cause of the unconstitutional conditions, that the 3-judge court order was necessary and narrowly tailored. And you're saying that Kamala Harris made the argument that they should be allowed to keep their prison population higher to provide allowed to keep their prison population higher?
Yeah, she actually argued that her office papers showed that they wanted to increase the prisoner population from 137.5% to 145%.
Okay, so where could I find
after the Supreme Court's decisions?
So where can I find those arguments from her?
They're in the documentation of the court proceedings. I mean, after the court, there's
You're saying
multiple
in Brown v. Plata?
Yeah, there's multiple papers you can find that her office sent to.
Where in Brown v. Plata can I find a mention of Kamala Harris?
You won't. She wasn't the lawyer that presided over that case. She was the acting attorney general when the decision was made on the case.
Okay.
So it was her job to follow the Supreme Court orders, which she did not.
Okay.
I mean, she did finally, but she slow-paced it, fought against it for a couple of years.
Okay, and so, I mean, just curious, if you're saying that she fought against it for a couple of years, are you saying that she fought against it before the decision was made?
No, after the decision was made.
Okay, and where
that's the problem I have with it is they.
Where can I?
I mean, you can look up Brown versus Plata on Google, man.
Well,
I mean, it won't take you long to find out all these facts.
I'm reading through Brown versus Plata right now. What you're saying is like partially true, but like where specifically inside of Brown versus Plata can I find any reference like to Kamala Harris? Like fighting.
She wasn't the
against
lawyer
this?
that presided over that case. She wasn't the prosecutor on that case.
Okay, so then
defendant
just
on that
simply like
case.
pointing me towards the case is not going to give me information about Kamala Harris and like her fight against.
Right.
it.
I mean, you can look up the case and the after effects of the case, and you'll find that her office filed paperwork so hard against the decision of the Supreme Court and slow paced it so hard. Legal professors said it was a travesty against the rights of Americans. The Supreme Court threatened. They didn't. But they threatened to hold her in contempt of court, and she finally backed down. But how would you feel if it was you or your sons or
where
daughters?
can I see those resources? Where can I see that?
In jail.
My friend, where could I see that?
I don't have it in front of me right now. I don't have my computer where I've got those notes made in front of me right now.
Okay, could you give me your
But
sources
it
from your
happened. I
computer?
mean, you can. No, I said I can't do that right now. I'm not
Okay,
at my computer.
So then
I'm not at my
then
home.
I'm not going to be able to trust your claim unless you could give me evidence of it.
Well, no, you can read about it. I mean, you can trust you can read, right?
Where do I read
So
about it? Right. When I'm asking you for a source, I'm essentially asking you where I could read about her involvement.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I don't have those resources in front of me. But if you want to ask me why I didn't vote for her, that's exactly why I didn't. She violated the rights of 46,000 Americans. Anybody listening to me out there right now can look it up on Google. They will find that it is the truth.
Right. So then what do I look up on Google to find her involvement?
Brown versus Plata, 2011 Once you start reading about it and digging
Wait,
a
I
little
thought
bit,
that
you'll find all these.
I thought that
You'll
we
find all
already
this is
agreed.
true.
I thought that we already agreed that she didn't have any involvement in that specific court decision, but it was rather her office that fought against
No,
the
no.
decision after
You
it was
can read
made.
about the case and what happened after the case, and you'll find
Yeah,
out these truths.
read about that where?
Again, I don't have it at my fingertips.
Okay.
You asked me why I didn't vote for her and voted for Trump instead. I'm
So then
telling you
that's
why.
you just seem like conveniently unprepared.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not at home. I'm not at home right now. I'm at lunch at work. I work late hours.
Okay. Well,
so you know, but you can look at Brown versus Plata. It's very easy to
what I
look
would
up.
recommend what I would recommend to you is to make sure that you come with receipts, especially when you're attempting to debate these things, right? Because like my counter argument to you would be is that you just simply don't have any evidence of her office's involvement after the court decision was made and rejection of
Well,
the
let's
court
just
decision.
we'll stay on and talk about other stuff. Give me a couple of minutes. I might be able to look that up for you.
Okay, for sure.
One
I
moment.
have some other really awesome stuff that we could talk about since you seem to care about the Constitution. Day 1, Donald Trump signed Executive Order number 14160 into law, violating the first section of the 14th Amendment, attempting to take birthright citizenship away from the children of undocumented immigrants born on American soil.
Good.
You said good?
I don't think that was ever meant to be used in that fashion. I think
Wait,
it's
whoa,
a-
whoa, 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 whoa!
it's-
So you
it's
come
a-
up
it's a- it's
here,
a
you come
loophole.
up here by attempting to argue that Kamala Harris is like terrible for apparently not even violating the Constitution, but like begrudgingly detesting a Supreme Court decision. But now that you learned that Donald Trump has explicitly violated one of the most important amendments in the American Constitution, you call it good? You hypocrite.
No, those should not be Americans. American citizenship should go through the normal process, not you come over here, plop out a baby, and all of a sudden you're an American.
Wait, when you say normal process, do you mean to say legal process? And if you do mean to say legal process, then yeah, a legal process of becoming a citizen is being born on American soil, right? So now you're basically saying that
It's
you
a
detest
loophole.
one of the it's not a loophole, it is a constitutional amendment. And it's a constitutional amendment born out of 350 years of England common law of jus soli. Jus soli is the notion that if you're born on the king's soil, then you are subject to the king. And in modern days, in constitutional republics, democracies, etc., if you're born on the soil of a nation, you are a citizen of the soil and the nation, as made explicitly clear in the 14th Amendment. And no, it's not a loophole. On the floor of Congress in 1865, when this amendment was being ratified, they explicitly debated if this amendment should apply to immigrants or not, and they concluded that it should. And that ruling was upheld in U.S. versus the Wong Kim Ark case of 1898. And then it was upheld once again that undocumented immigrants are subject to the jurisdiction of America in 1989.
Yeah, right here is one article about Kamala's subversion of the Supreme Court. This is the American Prospect. And they talk about it a little bit, which is actually where I got my first wind of it.
So do you want to respond to what I just said?
Oh, we're going to disagree on that. I think that it's been interpreted that way, but I think that the amendment was not meant to just you come on American soil, plop out a baby, and everybody's an American citizen. It's a slap in the face to those that go through the years and the expensive years of becoming an American citizen the right way.
No, it's truly a slap in the face to immigrants, is attempting to argue that we should deport 11 million undocumented immigrants that make the material conditions of new incoming legal immigrants better by making our economy function to a higher degree, providing $1.1 trillion through $1.7 trillion into the economy per year, while also paying close to $100 billion per year in taxes.
Costs about $68,000.
Now, don't interrupt me, my friend. Now, in response to the first part of that statement, you said, I don't think it's meant to be interpreted in that way. Give me a coherent interpretation of the first section of the 14th Amendment that would rule out undocumented immigrants. Give it to me. Give a legal argument for the conclusion that birthright citizenship under the first section of the 14th does not apply to the children of undocumented immigrants born on American soil.
Sure, if you're born on American soil, why do your parents get to stay with you?
Why
Put
do
them in, if you want to argue that, put them in the orphanage system. Because they were born on American soil, but their parents weren't. Why do the parents get to become legal American citizens, or do they?
So birthright citizenship would apply to those born on American soil. If an undocumented immigrant is not born on American soil, then it wouldn't extend citizenship to them. Right? So
So
now
you're
what is
good
the
with
legal
taking those kids.
interpretation?
So you're good with taking those kids away from their parents then.
No, I'm not, because I don't support mass deportation.
So again, you are in favor.
Again, you
of
haven't given
parents
me.
coming up-
Again, you
you're-
haven't.
well,
Again,
no, I'm
again, you haven't
clarifying,
given
I'm
me an
clarifying.
interpretation of the 14th
you're
that would
you're
conclude.
interrupting.
Again, you haven't. Yeah, I am with good reason, because I asked you a clear question. You said that the 14th Amendment
Not a
can be
good debate
interpreted.
tactic.
Well, what's a good debate tactic is staying on topic, and my interruption right now is attempting to get you to stay on topic and answer my question. You said that there's an interpretation of the 14th.
I was actually bringing up a point about.
You said that there's an interpretation of the 14th.
And you
that
keep
would-
muting me.
You said that there's an interpretation of the 14th that would conclude that the children of undocumented immigrants born on American soil wouldn't have citizenship. Give me that interpretation. That like talking about parents in relation to the children is not an interpretation of the 14th Amendment geared towards the
I was just
conclusion that
clarifying.
undocumented
You're okay
immigrants-
with making those people Americans or keeping them over here because they popped out an American citizen?
Well, I'll happily answer to your clarification after you give me the legal argument for your interpretation of the 14th.
Yeah, I'm just clarifying that because it's part of my argument. You're okay with keeping parents over here.
Like I told you, I'll answer to your clarification after you answer my question. Or can you just not answer my question? That's what it seems like.
Yeah, I'm just not going to answer.
Oh, great. So you're not going to answer the question, so you lose the debate. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, you still doxing people out there?
Am I doxing? Well, I'm not doxing people either. But quite frankly, we got a concession from you, my
I
friend.
heard that you-
How does it feel to get outsmarted by a 20-year-old? Have a good rest of your day. Let's go to move on to the next guest because he just conceded. I mean, wow, what a bow out. Oh, I'm not going to answer your question, Dean. Okay, so you lose. All right, moving on to the next guest. Let's hopefully try to find a Trump supporter that can answer to their claims. Who knows? Maybe we won't be able to. Sray, thank you for the $50 super on Super Chat. Thank you for the love, Sray. Sray says, trust me, bro, isn't a source. Have him call back with a source. Yup. Thank you for the love, Sray. Let's get 500 Sray W's down below in that comment section. As well as Sky with the $20 on Super Chat. Thank you, Sky. Sky says, I wish I was as confident in my everyday life as they are in their confidence in Trump and the conspiracy theory / misinformation. Trust me, bro. Bro, they're so confident in that shit. Sky with another 10 saying he's so disingenuous. So many disingenuous people today. Yeah, the last guy was like so disingenuous, but like I worked him down to a point where like the fact that he's disingenuous just simply couldn't be ignored anymore. And like his ultimate response was just to completely back off. He said, nope, not answering your question. That's how you know they're disingenuous. Bread, thank you for the $5 and Venmo saying pushed. Let's go, Bread. Tara with the $10 saying the amount of mental gymnastics Christian Trump supporters do to justify Trump's action is insane. At this point, they're just idolizing Trump over God. Yup. Thank you for the $10, Tara and Cook, as well as Annalise with the 20. Thank you, Annalise. Let's get 200 Annalise W's. Annalise says, as a Christian, I wanted to ask if you think the typical right-wing stereotype is associated with all Christians. Yeah, unfortunately, a little bit. But that's only because of the right. And in fact, I would love it if like liberal Christians could be a lot louder in their beliefs. What's up, Gigi? Do you support Trump?
Can you address what's happening?
Well, they asked me to address something. I honestly kicked them when they didn't answer the question. Well, now what do they want me to address? I don't know. Aaron, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for that love, Aaron. Show some love to Aaron down below, you guys. Show some love to Aaron down below. Thank you so much for the $50. You were awesome. Show some love to Aaron down below in that chat, you guys. That is ERIN. Thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo for the patience. You are awesome, and it's so good to see you again today. That is so much money as well. Thank you so much for the love, Aaron. What is up? Do you support Trump?
Actually, I was just wondering.
I guess we'll never know what he's wondering either. Rashad, thank you for the $15 over on Venmo as well. Sorry, we got a couple to catch up on here. Rashad with the 15 says, Dean and Parker for president in 2050 through 2070. Maybe one day, man. I don't know. Thank you for the 15, Rashad. Tip with the $5. Thank you so much. Valkyrie with the 20. Thank you so much. Valkyrie with the $20 says, as a disabled combat vet with TBI, it's difficult for me to formulate sentences sometimes. Thank you for being the voice I no longer have, Valkyrie. Thank you for your service. I mean that so very seriously. Thank you for your goddamn service. You fucking patriot. Okay? We love you. We love you here. Show some love to Valkyrie in that chat. All right? We're going to try to find that next Trump supporter right now. If you want to skip that line and come right up onto the live, guys, let me know if you're MAGA down below. Keep in mind, guys, we are only talking to Trump supporters. We are only talking to Trump supporters. If you are not an American adult that supports Trump, I am going to kick you and ban you. Let's go to move on to the next guest right now. I'm going to kick and ban you, quick and ban you, quite frankly, if you join up and you are not a Trump supporter. let's go ahead and get that next guest connected right now. Quite frankly, let's go and get that next guest connected right now. Okay. All right. Thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate that. Doesn't look like Amy's loading in. Moving on to our next guest, user spam. Here we go. As well as Gail. This was 32 minutes ago, but I just wanted to make sure I showed you some love. We're still kind of getting around to the donations, especially on Venmo. Gail sent us $50 on Venmo. Gail, that is insane. Thank you and everybody else so much. You guys have been so generous today. Gail, the 50 big one says, as a Christian, it disgusts me when people love Trump because of his Christian quote unquote values. Trump is a viper who's violated every single commandment. This dude needs to read Matthew 5:25 because he and his cult leader will be thrown out with the goats on the last day. Yeah, Matthew 5:25 is a good one. That one's talking about how, if you give to the less fortunate among you, it's like you're giving to God, right? I'm pretty sure that's what that one's about. That is a really good verse that I should have brought up. Thank you for the $50, Gail. As well as Christy with a $5 over on Venmo. Apparently saying, I love Christians. I'm not a Christian. Ooh, Trump saying that. Let me check that out. What's up? Do you support Trump? No, they left too. Literally nobody wants to talk. Nobody wants to talk today. Does anybody know why all the Trump supporters are running scared on this fine afternoon? Listen, if you're a Trump supporter, you're not going to run scared. Hop in that queue. Just make sure that you're an American adult, okay? That's all. Just going to get that next guest up here. As well as Christy. Thank you for the $10. For the $20 over on Venmo. Thank you, Christy. As well as, hey, Jennifer, thank you so much for the $50 over at Venmo. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Show some love to Jennifer down below. Thank you so much. You are awesome. Thank you so much, Jennifer. As well as Jared with the 10 and Tip with the 10. Tip says, Jesus literally said those that do not help the needy, poor, hungry, abused, or foreigners, that they will not get into heaven. Literally, Matthew 25:31 and so on. I'll have to check that out too. But thank you, Jennifer. Let's get 500 Jennifer W's down below in that chat while we're still looking for the next Trump supporter. As well as Melanie with a 5 and Serenity with a 10. And then Jay Dunn with a 5 once again. Okay, awesome. There we go. We are all caught up. I really appreciate everyone so much for the love over on Venmo over the course of the last hour. So thank you guys so much. Show some love to all of our donors down below in the chat, y'all. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 19.
And how long do you expect me to believe that for?
What the hell does that mean?
What year were you born in?
2009.
Okay.
Wait,
all right.
fuck.
Yeah. They left on their own. By the way, if you are watching and you'd like to support me, you could support me through my Venmo and the link tree in my bio. If you've been here before and you've supported me on PayPal before, guess what? My PayPal got fucking banned. My PayPal got fucking banned. I don't have my PayPal anymore, chat, so I got banned. The only way that you could support me now is over on Venmo. Well, let's get that next guest loaded up in here. We're still just looking for one Trump supporter, and we cannot find them. Why? Literally no coherent reason given. No coherent reason given. Morgan, thank you for the $10 on Venmo saying get pushed. I appreciate you for that love, Morgan. That last guest got pushed. Show some love to Morgan down below. Let's get 100 Morgan W's. Thank you. All right, we got hopefully the next Trump supporter Luca loading up. As well as Kat. Thank you for the $2 on Venmo. Okay, what's going on? Do you support Trump? Luca, I'm going to give you around 3 seconds to speak here. Speak now or forever be at peace. I guess Luca will forever be at peace. Guys, 9,000 people on the TikTok live. Not one person that supports Trump? Seriously? Come on, guys. Looks like MAGA is dead. John in the comment section says, 4 of you on Venmo, which one is you? Just go through the link in my bio. It'll link you right to my real account. So you don't accidentally send it to the fake ones. That's why I always say just link in bio. So you don't have to go and type it in. All right, let's get that next guest connected. Lion, thank you for the $10 over at Venmo. Saying, how the fuck they banning PayPal? That's BS. Keep up the good work. Yeah, man, I just woke up today and it's permanently banned. As well as I had quite a bit of money in that PayPal account. And now I'm locked out of it. Just locked out of it, man. It's weird. What's up? Do you support Trump?
I'm sorry, man. I joined it by mistake.
No worries. Okay, still no MAGA. Still no MAGA. MAGA, where are we at today? Cassandra with the $5 on Venmo saying, as a Christian, I absolutely hate when people use the Bible as an excuse to be a shit person. Yeah, bro. I completely agree. What's up? You support Trump? What are we doing? Dude, she's in the fucking shower. Come on, guys. Oh my god. Okay, this guy's back. Okay. I'm going to give this guy a rule. I'm not going to... Okay. I'm going to give this guy a rule. Hey, Just, I'm going to start off by putting you on mute, my friend. If we're going to talk today, it's because you're going to tell us why you support Trump. If you want to go back to freaking out like you were last time we spoke 2 days ago, I'm not going to entertain it, and I'm just going to kick you. But as far as I know, you are the only identifiable Trump supporter in my guest request right now. So if you want to just both breathe in and out real quick.
Go get a real job. How does it feel now that PayPal has your money, my guy? You're not going to get that money back.
I probably won't, according to other people on the internet.
God.
So Justin,
No, you won't, bro. They're going to keep that money, bro.
That's what I said.
You fraudster.
They probably will keep that money, according to other people on the internet. Yeah, I think it's really sucks.
Yeah, they
Obviously, will. I'm not gonna put on.
You're committing fraud, my guy. You're committing fraud.
Okay.
PayPal is for people that have a real job or do jobs for someone else and get paid. That's a form of payment. You don't do anything to get paid.
Okay. All right, Justin.
Therefore, it's a matter of time before Venmo stops paying you too, bro. And I'm here for it. Right. I'm here with my popcorn and everything, waiting for you to fall, bro.
Let's not talk about that today. Let's talk about why you support Trump.
Okay, so if you don't want to talk about that, let's talk about that so-called anxiety pen, bro.
No, I want to talk about why you support Trump very calmly.
I want to talk about your anxiety pen. So does it work or not? Because maybe I want to go buy one. But I know it's not an anxiety pen, bro.
Okay. All right. So
It's a vape.
So do you want to talk about why you support Trump?
You know why I support Trump.
And why is that?
Because you're getting rid of the illegals.
What is one material benefit of mass deportation on America?
That America is going to be what it was and what it's supposed to be. These illegals need to come in the right way. And no, having a baby on here.
I've made the executive decision. He's just too incoherent, so I removed him. I'm just going to keep it a buck. He's just too incoherent. I'm just going to keep it honest. Take care. Take care, Justin. Take care. We're going to move on to the next guest. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Oh, shit. I did not mean to request. My bad.
No worries. Yo, oh my goodness, Skylar! Dude, Skylar, thank you so very much for the $100 over on Venmo. Skylar, that is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you, Skylar. Skylar with a $100 donation says, F MAGA. You know what, Skylar? We could agree to that. Show some love to Skylar down below. That is literally so incredibly kind of you. That is so much money. Thank you, Skylar. Thank you so much. Oh my God. 1,000 Skylar W's. All right, for base Skylar down below in that chat. Thank you so much. Seriously, Skylar. Thank you. And welcome in, Ben. Do you support Trump?
I do support Trump, yep.
And how old are you?
25.
Very nice. Bread with $1 on Venmo saying DNC Griff bots. We'll pay it back. Let's go. We got the Griff bot donation. As well as Feisty. Thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat. Thank you for the love, Feisty. Let's get 200 Feisty W's. Thank you. As well as Rob with the $20 Super Chat saying, Dean, here's for your quote-unquote real job. Thank you so much. Please multiply this as a donation to help starving kids in Palestine. You know what, Rob? I'll do it for your donation. However, I fear as if I were to suggest that I do this for every donation, that I might run out of money, quite frankly. But I'll do it with yours. Thank you so much, Rob. That is incredibly kind of you. And sure, I'll make sure I donate that to Palestine. In fact, there's a really good charity that I'm familiar with, started by my buddy Quentin Quarantino over on Instagram that I could send that to. Okay, all right. Go ahead, Ben. Why do you support Trump?
Yeah, so there's many reasons. So I like his moral character. I think his morality matches up with mine. And I like his personality.
Okay, you like his personality and his character? Those are like literally the worst two attributes about him.
According to who? According to you? I
According,
mean, it is subjective, right?
yeah, obviously, according to me. But let's see if we could get you to agree. Like, for instance, his character, he's boasted about perving on like underage children. He's boasted about he like sexualized a 10-year-old. He was held civilly liable for rape. He sent Epstein a letter with a picture of a naked woman with a statement, "May every new day be another wonderful secret." He tried to get Obama elected by arguing that because he's black, he was born in Africa, so on and so forth. It's really disgusting, man.
All right, can you stick with just one?
Sure, you got to choose which one we start with.
All right, so you said that I'm assuming you're talking about E. Jean Carroll. Okay, so tell me why that's wrong.
You want me to tell you why grape is wrong?
Well, it's not grape, it's essay, right?
I think that it's grape. And if it were to be
According
essay,
to who? According to you or
you don't
New
think
York?
that essay is wrong?
You have to prove that it's wrong.
Ben, if you don't think that essay is wrong, I think you should be in jail.
Can you prove essay is wrong if he did it?
Okay. Ben, I'd advocate for you to be put on a list.
Did he essay? That's the question. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm going to go to an advocate for you being on that list, and we're going to move on. That's fucking scary. I didn't know that we were like that late stage MAGA. Trump supporters are just literally arguing that essay isn't wrong. We're going to move on to the next Trump supporter. It's just crazy that we've gotten to that point. It's crazy that we've gotten to that point. We've seriously gotten to the point where people are now arguing that essay is not wrong. Oh my God. We're going to go to get that next Trump supporter up in here. Hop in that queue if you want to come up. Jeez, man. That's terrible. Sky, thank you for the $3.
Right, so
What's up, man? Do you support Trump?
yeah, I support Trump.
Age?
I'm 16.
All right, got to be at least 18 to be on live. Got to be at least 18 to be on live. Moving on. Moving on. You got that next guest, Eli, connecting. Sky, thank you for the $3 on Venmo, saying RIP to the PayPal. So real. Appreciate you for the love. Hopefully I'll be able to get it back. I'm going to try my hardest. As well as, Hardeep, thank you for the $50 over on Venmo. Hardeep, that is so kind of you. That is Hardeep spelled Hardeep. Thank you so much for the love. Seriously, thank you so much. That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you for the $50. Everybody, please show some love to Hardeep, the GOAT, in that comment section. What is going on? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Oh, you've already been up here, right?
Yeah, Gary Gensler's a little shitter.
I don't even know what you just said, but you've been up here before, so we're going to go to kick you. Guys, hop in that queue if you support Trump. We're just seriously looking for one Trump supporter. Like, the only two Trump supporters in the live are Justin, who's just absolutely lost his mind, and then the last guy that doesn't think SA is wrong. Like, guys, if you support Trump and you're watching this live, this is a terrible look for you. What's up? Do you support Trump?
I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I will be 27 in a few months, so we'll just say 27.
Perfect. Awesome. Real quick before we hop into the debate, Jesse, thank you for the hand arts on TikTok. And Rebecca, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo. That's very kind of you, Rebecca. Rebecca says, please check the Daily Beast or prisonlegalnews.org in regards to Harris on the Brown v. Plata case. Seems far-fetched. Keep up the good fight. Thank you, Rebecca. And once again, if you want to support me, banned on PayPal. I just want to repeat that a couple times throughout the day. And if you want to support me, the only way you can support me right now is over on Venmo, which you can find through the link tree in the bio. Now, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Well, I think that honestly, I feel like it's kind of really a back and forth because I feel like when it comes to politics these days, it's kind of like a lesser of the two evil situations, which is kind of screwed up anyways. But I have to say, as far as like supporting him, it would have to be like his policies when it comes to trying to bring, like industrialization back to the US and not necessarily trying to outsource that to other countries for cheap labor. So like jobs, for instance, like that's the main one for me.
I'm sorry. Could you just I wasn't listening. I was just caught up on how you said that you were about to turn 27. So therefore you are 27.
I know, I saw people's comments. You're good, dude.
No, you're 26. You're not 27. You're 26. But just repeat it in a couple sentences or what. That's my bad. I dropped the ball there. I should be listening. Take it away.
No, you're
Libby.
good. I mean, the main thing is jobs, like trying to bring industrialization back to the U.S. because outsourcing obviously just lowers the jobs opportunities for Americans as a whole.
Okay, not necessarily. So working in like globalizing commerce and focusing on competitive advantage, meaning that we're producing what we're good at producing, could actually produce a more efficient economy overall that's growing at a quicker rate, meaning that we'll have more jobs. Fun fact. And like when we implement restrictions like tariffs, like artificially preventing the introduction of goods produced in other countries into our market, point number one, we're reducing competition, which will reduce innovation. With less innovation, we of course have less jobs. And point number two, it's a regressive tax on the poor. So not only are we immorally hurting poor people, but that also reduces consumer confidence in spending, meaning less people are spending money on goods. And maybe that's why the Feds are projecting 1.5% GDP growth this year compared to 2.5% last year. And three, Donald Trump's other economic reform, not economic reform, just policy in general, like mass deportation, is literally going to fire 8.3 million of our workers, which is significantly going to reduce the productive capacities of our labor force and our manufacturers, reducing jobs.
Well, I mean, I definitely think that those are good points for sure. But I mean, as far as the tariffs are concerned, when you look at tariffs as a whole, like it's really for negotiations. The way I've seen it is you've had a lot of people come in, and when it comes to the tariffs, it's brought back the negotiations. Like him saying, oh, if you bring jobs over to the U.S., then you get a 0% tariff tax on all of your imported goods because those are made here.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily see it as like the tariffs being a bad thing because they're a big tax, but let me expand on that too.
Well,
Like,
actually,
I
before
also-
you expand on that, could I point out something important here?
Go ahead.
You just contradicted yourself. The contradiction
How?
was clear because you told us that you support tariffs and limiting goods produced in other countries from being introduced into our market so we could focus on American jobs. But now you're saying that they're actually not being used to drive more like manufacturing in America, but they're rather just being used as a tool to negotiate better trade agreements with other countries. Better trade agreements would symbolize lower tariffs and lesser barriers to trade, which would symbolize more competitive advantage in globalization of commerce, which at the end of the day would be antithetical to your original goal of attempting to use tariffs to limit the amount of goods produced in other countries in America.
Well, I mean, I guess where you could say it would be contradicting, I could see that, but I still think that it goes back to negotiations.
Well, what are they
we've got to have
negotiating?
good. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is you've got to have good negotiations to do it like respectively. Now, granted, let me just say this:
What are they
I would-
negotiating? Seriously, like literally, what are they negotiating?
jobs, like manufacturers
No.
coming back to the states instead of other countries.
No. They're negotiating like better trade agreements in the sense of reducing tariffs on one another.
Well, yeah, again, jobs though, like manufacturers coming back
Wait.
here.
Wait, so you're saying that your
businesses
end
and
goal
things
is
like
actually going
that.
to be like less tariffs on other countries?
Well, I mean, if you've got a country that's taxing us on an 80% rate and our tariff on them is only 12%, how is that fair?
Okay, so now it's not even about like reducing tariffs. Now it's about like fairness. So it's no longer about jobs. It's about fairness. Wait,
Well,
so
it's
if
as
you
a
think that
whole.
imposing tariffs will drive more jobs into America because we're limiting goods produced in other countries from being in our market, then this means that you think Donald Trump like attempting to get like fair trade agreements by getting other countries to reduce their tariffs on us, thereby we'd reduce our tariffs on them, is like making us lose jobs for like some virtue of fairness? Is that your position?
No, I think that we're both like, there's a miscommunication here because
I don't
even
know.
if it wasn't Trump, let's say it was someone else. Let's say that Kamala did get voted into the presidency, and let's say she had the standpoint on tariffs that Trump does right now. Like, how would people feel about that? Would people trust her on her raising tariffs and negotiating tariff percentages then?
Well, I this isn't even hypothetical because when the Biden-Harris administration like was our administration, they had imposed tariffs on China. And when they imposed tariffs on China until the end of their term, every single time somebody asked me about it, I said I disagreed.
Well, then that's fair.
Right? So I think that tariffs are bad. They limit innovation. They're a regressive tax on the poor. They limit GDP growth, and they cause inflation, and they make us make things that we're not that good at making. And they really hurt small businesses. So they introduce a lot of like wealth inequality in between small businesses and large businesses, because one of the main differences between big businesses and small businesses is that the big ones have the ability to invest like millions of dollars into building the infrastructure in America to produce their raw materials they use to build their goods here. Small businesses, on the other hand, they don't have that kind of capital, so they outsource their raw materials from other countries. Now those raw materials are going to cost more, meaning that small businesses are either going to have to increase the price of their goods or go out of business, right? And like neither one of those two things are optimal, because if they increase the price of their goods, their consumers are paying more, meaning less consumers will buy from them and just shift to the large organizations that are producing the same good at a lower quality for a lower price. And of course, I don't need to explain to you why going out of business is wrong either, right? So it's really hurting small businesses.
Well, you just kind of said it there too. I mean, if it costs more for them to outsource and go to other countries, and they have to buy the goods in America, so you're bringing more business back to your smaller jobs or farms or whoever you're buying goods for whatever business in the United States instead of buying from other countries, right?
So you're saying that you would support America to go back to an economy that's focused on producing steel instead of buying steel from other countries to produce phones, and B, you want American citizens to pay more for the goods that they need, and regressively so, because you spend a greater proportion of your income on the bare necessities to live, the less you make.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because like your goods in America, like supply and demand is a real thing, right? So your supply and demand, they drive any market. If you've got a huge supply as far as like the goods that you're producing for whatever business that, you know, it is that you do, and there's an increase in demand, but you have enough supply, then you could actually lower, because your capital could be higher at that point too.
Okay.
But then if you're constantly going to other countries, then
friend.
obviously their prices are going to be higher because they don't have as much going out too.
I'm going to be honest when I say this. It was gibberish.
I mean, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But I mean, I work for a small business.
It just wasn't a coherent point.
Okay. Well, you have a good day.
Well, can you try to make the point clear?
Well, I think it was clear. I mean, when you have inside, like, if you're outsourcing
Wait, let's just
goods.
listen. Wait 1 second. Let's just like listen to it again. Let's just, because like maybe it is clear. Let's just listen to it again. An economy that's focused on produce and they need necessity.
Well, I mean, yes and no, because like your goods in America, like supply and demand is a real thing, right?
Okay.
So your supply
So supply and demand is a real thing.
and demand, they drive any market. If you've got a huge supply as far as like the goods that you're
supply.
producing for whatever business that,
supply.
you know, it is that you do, and there's an increase in demand, but you haven't
So you have a lot of supply and you have an increase in demand.
enough supply, then you could actually lower, because your cap
Okay, already like macroeconomically wrong. So you just said if you have a large supply and an increase in demand that you could lower prices. No, like regardless of what your supply is, if it's big or small, if you have an increase in demand with the same supply, the price would go up, right? You learn that like 2010 macroeconomics first day in college.
capital could be higher at that point too.
And then you said your capital could be higher at that point too. What the fuck does capital have to do with these basic principles of like equilibrium price? No clue. Okay.
But then if you're constantly going to other countries, then
friend.
obviously their prices are going to be higher because they don't have as much going out too.
Okay. Then saying that goods from other countries are their price is going to be higher because they have
No,
less goods
I was talking about like goods
one
in the
second,
US
one
being
second. So then you said there's like goods in other countries that are going to be higher because they have less goods going out. When you say less goods going out, you mean like less goods being sold. And if they have less goods being sold, that means that their price would actually be lower, given that they'd have a lower demand. So your first point was wrong because you suggested with the same supply and an increasing demand, the price would go down. No, price would go up. That's how the equilibrium price of a good works. Now your second point had something to do with like capital. I don't know how capital would relate to like equilibrium price and an increase in demand with the same supply. And then your third point was that the price of goods would go up given a reduction in demand with the same supply. That's also false. The price would actually go down. Right? So that's why I said that statement was gibberish.
No, what I was saying is if your supply and demand in the country is there, like if you're buying goods from the US, then your price would go down per se as far as like in the US. Now, not on everything, right? If you're talking about industrial steel, and I'm only saying that because you had mentioned steel. Obviously, depending on where you're getting it from, resources, if the country even has enough resources on steel, but even like your precious metals, right? Like let's just say gold, silver, platinum, palladium, or whatever. You have to outsource platinum from other countries because the US doesn't have that. So there's always going to be an outsource there. But if our country has the goods and the ability to do that, then why don't we do that here? Now, I'm not saying everything can be made in the US. Obviously, the US doesn't have everything to be made.
My friend,
but
that's
if your
also,
country has it,
this is also
go ahead.
gibberish. Your point was that if we start buying goods from American companies, the price will go down. Like what?
I don't think you're understanding, but it's fine.
I'm repeating what you said.
I mean, what I said was that. I mean, a reason that American goods are so expensive in certain businesses, not all businesses, but certain businesses, is because there's not a high enough demand because it's outsourced to other countries. Like clothes, for example. If you buy off of like, I don't know if I can say name brand or companies on TikTok, but
Okay, you're
just
wrong.
clothes, right?
Everything you just
okay.
said was wrong. So no. When the demand of a good goes down with the same supply, the price goes down. When the demand of a good goes up with the same supply, the price of the good goes up.
I mean, I understand that. I work in finance. Like, I get that. But I also, like, am just trying to make a point as far as, like, American goods. If they're made here, then obviously, why are we not, like, going back to what you said about small businesses and big businesses, right? You want to support small businesses. So obviously, if a small business isn't getting a lot of business, their prices are going to be higher. And I've experienced that firsthand. And then if you go to a bigger business, sometimes they offer a cheaper good, but they're also making a lot of capital because they have the money to buy, expand, whatever, like you said. So going back to small businesses, like a restaurant, for example, if you go to McDonald's, you can get a fast food meal for like $12 these days because inflation. But if you go down to like a mom and pop shop, you may pay $15, $20 for that because it's being homemade and it's not frozen.
So I think what you're trying to get at here is that when the materials you use to like build the goods you sell are more expensive, then the product will be more expensive too. Okay, that's true. Is that like the takeaway here?
I mean, kind of, in a sense,
Okay,
yeah.
and now what does this takeaway do for your argument?
As far as like, why would I support Trump? I mean,
Right,
it
like how
starts
does the
like,
idea that if the materials you use to make your goods are more expensive, then the good in turn will likely also be more expensive? What does this principle have to do with why you support Trump?
well, it goes back to, like I said, like the small business versus your big business thing. If you're supporting your businesses in the U.S., doesn't matter what they're making, food, clothes, whatever, then as far as what you have to offer, if we're buying that here instead of overseas, then you're giving more back to your small businesses here. Because ultimately, when it comes to like the things that are cheaper in goods, whether no matter
The
what
small
it is,
so you're,
Go ahead.
I'm trying to follow this. Okay, if you want me to be honest, this is just like a very like incoherent position, right? Remember, my original position that I shared with you is that a lot of small businesses are really hurt by the tariffs because they don't make the raw materials they use to build their goods here. They get them from other countries.
right? But if you bring that infrastructure back, like if you bring the manufacturers, the factories, whatever
But
it is,
how are we
that
going to bring that infrastructure back if we're only using the tariffs as a negotiating tool?
well, it's not just tariffs, though. I mean, as far as like
then what else
we're
is he
using-
doing to bring that infrastructure back?
Well, I mean, as far the tariffs, I would say is where it starts, but it definitely trickles down from there too.
Okay, so like what else is bringing the infrastructure back?
The negotiations.
What negotiations and how are they bringing infrastructure back?
I can't remember how long ago it was that I said it, but it was the whole like if you bring your manufacturers back to the US, then you will have a 0% tariff tax on your goods.
So that's not a negotiation. That's just a fact because tariffs are a tax on import. So if something is imported, then it's not going to be hit with a tariff?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it a fact over a negotiation because not everybody's going to agree to do that. Like there's going to be more negotiation in that.
No, that's not negotiation. It's just obviously true. If
Okay.
tariffs are a tax on imports, then tariffs are not going to apply to things that aren't imported, like things that are built here, right?
Exactly. But you telling them if you bring the manufacturer back to the US, you will not have a tariff tax is a way of negotiating them bringing it here so that there is no importing or exporting going on.
It's, oh my God. Okay. All right. It's not a tool of negotiation. That's just a byproduct of the tariff, right? But the reason why the tariffs won't produce these outcomes is because the tariffs are not going to stay in effect in the long term, as Donald Trump is using the tariffs to negotiate other outcomes, like investment into American manufacturing or reduction in reciprocal tariffs that other countries have imposed on us. Why would a country spend billions of dollars in 3 to 6 years to build manufacturing plants in America when they don't even know if these tariffs will stick for more than 20 days?
Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to turn my microphone back on. Can you repeat the last sentence that you said?
Why would these companies spend 3 to 5 years and billions of dollars of building manufacturing plants in America when they don't even know that these tariffs will stick for 20 days?
Well, I guess that goes back to negotiations. Because
What?
I mean, you seem confused. Like, I'm not trying to debate. Like, I really honestly came into this thinking that this was like a civil conversation, like a difference of opinions. But I mean, honestly, when it comes to what is going on with the negotiations, I mean, whether
You can't
it
just
does
say
or
the
does not
word.
stick.
You can't just say the word negotiation and have a counter argument
Why not?
because it's a word. It's not an argument. Words aren't
But I thought we were
arguments.
talking about how tariffs were or were not negotiations. And then when it comes to the other countries not sticking with the tariffs or
Okay.
building manufacturers
So
because they
can,
don't know if it'll stick for 20
can
days or
you
not.
can you repeat the last point I made to you?
As far as what your question was,
No, it wasn't even a question. It was a statement. It was an argument. It was a position.
yeah, like why would they agree to build manufacturers over here if they don't know if the tariff is going to stick longer than 20 days, right?
Right? Because Donald Trump has.
I mean, that is a valid question. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. But there have been companies,
Right,
other
if
countries
you're not
that
going to
have
disagree,
agreed.
if you're not disagreeing with me on that, then you concede the argument.
Well, I'm also like conservative. Like I'm not going to say that I'm straight Republican. I do have democratic liberal views. But at the end of the day, it goes back to what I said when I first got on here. I mean, you can laugh if you think
Well,
it's funny.
it just means that like one of the views that you disagree with Trump on is the notion that the tariffs are going to drive manufacturing back to America. And that's awesome, but it just so happens to be that you've been arguing that the tariffs were going to drive manufacturing back to America since the moment you joined.
No, I said I felt like they could bring manufacturing back to America. That's not necessarily my entire argument there.
So now that you've conceded that position, what's the next one?
As far as like why would I support him?
Yeah.
It really goes back to the lesser of the two evils. I mean, when it came to the last election, for example, I just felt like there was a whole lot of circles on the other side when there was a clear point on the other side. And, you know, as far as like when it comes
Haven't
to
we just been talking about a circle of Trumps this whole time? Oh, are the tariffs going to drive more manufacturing back? Oh, are they being used as a tool of negotiation? Oh, are they going to be effective in the long term? Oh, are they just like to point out and and to get more like better, more fair trade agreements? Oh, are they being used to get better border patrol from Mexico? Oh, are they being used to get better border patrol from Canada? Oh, are they going to be imposed on every country? Or oh, are we going to pause those and then oh, are we going to pose them on some countries to try to end conflicts? But oh, then we're going to like remove them and then give other countries more money. Then oh, we're going to use it to get a couple billion from Japan. But oh, and then we're going to use it to like tariff like all EU cars. Like, isn't this just like a really big circle here that we see with all the like terrible economic policy from Trump?
I mean, I guess that's your opinion and you're entitled to it.
Okay, so what are some of the circles that we saw in Kamala Harris's campaign?
I didn't see any promises that were being delivered.
Well, of course, she wouldn't deliver on the promises that she made for a presidential campaign until she became president, and she didn't because she lost the presidency.
But she also didn't do anything when she was vice president either.
Okay, that's not true.
Half the country didn't even know who she was until she ran for president.
Question. Can you name one thing any vice president has ever done in American history?
I don't know if anybody can without doing the research on it.
Right, exactly. That's why I find that argument disingenuous. It's because you try to posit that somehow the fascist rapist was better than Kamala Harris for the presidency because you can't name something she did when she was VP when you can't name anything that any vice president did in American history.
Well, it's
I'm willing to
not
hedge
that I
bet.
can't
One moment.
name
One
something
moment.
she
One
did.
moment. I'm willing to hedge bet that at least one vice president has done one thing ever. All right. And because I'm willing to hedge that bet, and you don't know what that is, this just means that it's not that our vice presidents haven't done things. It's that you're not educated in what they have done. So why are you trying to use your own ignorance as an argument against her?
as far as like what she's done, I mean, it just goes back to like the silence really in her vice presidency. It's not necessarily pinpointing it on what each individual vice president has done. I've seen plenty of vice presidents like step out, show out, be there for things maybe that the president couldn't do. But as involved as I am in my career with politics, like there was nothing. I saw Biden all the time. You know, I really felt bad for him because it reminded me of one of my grandparents. But at the same time,
You just
there
weren't
was
paying
hardly
attention.
anything.
Listen, bro, you can't use your own ignorance to shit on her. You were the one that wasn't paying attention to like the Kamala Harris and the VP for the last 4 years. You know, she was actually one of the most efficient vice presidents in American history. Maybe why she wasn't on the camera so much was because she was too busy doing the work, right? She passed more tie-breaking votes in the Senate compared to any other vice president in this country's history, and she worked alongside Biden to pass some of the most monumental legislation in the last 30 or 40 years, such as the PACT Act that was a near $1 billion investment into the expansion of VA healthcare benefits, the CHIPS and Science Bill that was a $45 billion investment into American chip producers to get their production from sub 1% of the global supply to up to 30 in 4 years. She helped pass the infrastructure bill that invested $1 trillion into renewing and rebuilding American infrastructure following the pandemic to create more jobs, so more people had more money and they're more confident to spend it because it kept coming in, as well as a lot of other things. And I guess like my point here is, well, obviously I don't think we're going to see the VP too often because the P is center stage, right? The president is the one on the camera. The president is the one answering the questions. The president is the one talking to the Americans, not the vice president. You know, like my evidence for this might be JD Vance. Like, where the fuck did JD Vance go? What has JD Vance been up to? I think he's taken like 5 vacations in the last, like, I don't know, like 6 months. Right. And I'm not even like shitting on him for that. It's because his role as a vice president, right, is like seemingly like minuscule because Donald Trump wants to try to pick up the reins and do everything all at once. So he's just kind of sitting back, coasting and doing his own thing. Kamala Harris was significantly more involved with Biden because Biden didn't think he was literally God and everybody else that disagreed with him was wrong. He was willing to rely on others around him, like his vice president, to help him make better decisions by adding more intelligent minds to the equation.
Is my mic on? Okay. So you feel like JD Vance has taken a back seat and Trump has taken the position of being more of the front runner in this situation.
Which is not unusual at all. Like the official role of a vice president is to like pass tie-breaking votes in the Senate and to step up if the president steps down.
See, and I feel like JD has actually taken more than he let Mike Pence do, when they did the whole meeting at the White House, like he spoke a lot, and I was really surprised because normally Trump would say and do all the talking, whereas he actually let JD butt in and say his
taken 8
piece.
vacations in 7 months.
Well, I mean, the man can do what he wants to do. He is the vice president of the
Just
United States.
replace the vice presidency with any other job ever. If you had a coworker that took 8 vacations in 7 months, you're obviously going to say that coworker isn't working too much.
Well, depending on the industry, I'd have to argue that.
Give me an industry where like somebody working but taking 8 vacations in 7 months like would be somebody that isn't working too much. Would it be somebody that isn't working too much? Give me an industry where that would be true.
Sales, for example. I mean, if you get your number, you meet your quota, you get your goals, then you can really take as much time off as you want to. But that also goes back to how much money are you wanting to make and how much money do you not want to make? And in this case, obviously, vice president has nothing to do with finance.
I don't know one person in sales that has been successful that takes above average over 1 vacation per month.
I mean, I know a few, but I also think it depends on where you live in the country, too.
Okay, name one person that works in sales that is successful that has taken over 8 vacations in the last 7 months.
Well, it's not anybody that anyone would know, and I'm not just going to out them on a live.
All right, because I just don't think that you do. All right.
I mean, I do, but again, it's like.
Well, then can we agree that they're
know.
not working too hard?
I mean, when you make $1 million a year and you're still able to do that, I would say that they're working pretty hard.
Wait, no, they're just not working too hard and making a lot of money. Well, come on, like even people that make millions and millions of dollars per year, but like every month they're in Europe, then they're in Asia, then they're in Africa, then they're in South America, like every single month. Okay, they make a lot of money, but they don't work too hard to make that money.
So then do you think that people can't go on vacation and also work from the vacation as well?
Are you talking about like remote jobs?
Not
Well,
remote,
thank
but
you
like
so much
going
for the
on
galaxy.
vacation and then carrying your money, or not your money, your work with you, like still working while you're on vacation.
I think that this is like an idealistic goal that's been suggested to especially young men on the internet to get into e-commerce. But like even then, like I don't really think that that's a goal that exists. I don't think that it's really too feasible. It's really too realistic. I wouldn't say that too many people take a monthly vacation and work really hard on that vacation. But I definitely wouldn't say that the vice presidency is one of those positions. Like, could you give me an example of JD Vance doing work on any of these 8 vacations?
No, because I don't follow him like
Right.
day to day like that.
Right. So like seemingly like you wouldn't be able to suggest that JD Vance has been working too hard. And I don't know why this isn't obvious. Like this should be obvious to everybody. 8 vacations in 7 months. He's not working too hard. Right? And I'm not saying that this is like super bad or anything either. It doesn't really seem like he's needed to work too hard.
Well, I mean, again, it's the vice president, like you said. I mean, their job is to break tie votes and pass things in the Senate, right? So,
Right, so you're just saying that
then-
vice presidents don't have to work too hard, but you think that the fascist rapist was better than the old vice president because that old vice president didn't work too hard. See the issue with your argument here?
Well, okay, let me also expand on this. I feel like the playing on the DEI, which, by the way, I have no issue with what people do in their free time. But I do have an issue with there's people that can't put food on their tables. Like it was just the whole not focusing on the real issues in America when the other side was. It's not necessarily
What
that.
real issues has Trump fixed in the last 200 days?
Well, my mortgage came down.
Are you talking about like your rate?
Yeah.
So you refinanced your mortgage?
No, I didn't refinance. Like the tax rate in my city has come down.
Maybe I'm just not
Oh.
too clear. Tax on a
Fixed
mortgage?
rate. So when it comes to a mortgage, if you have a fixed rate or you don't have a fixed rate, if you're not locked in on your rate, then it can fluctuate with the rates of everything else that is involved in your mortgage. So my mortgage has actually come down, whereas it was steadily climbing, and
Okay.
it's come down in the
So-
last 2 months.
So I don't think that we've had any rate cuts from the feds in the last 2 months. So that doesn't seem like anything to do with their federal with the federal government.
Well, it could be city or it could be state on that, but it's still come down.
So how did Donald Trump cause this?
I didn't say he did. I mean, you were just asking
Wait.
about
No,
things.
no. You did because my question was clear. Like, what issues has like Donald Trump fixed in the last 200 days?
Well, you were asking me about what focusing or what issues were they focusing or that has been
Right.
fixed
Like,
in the
like
last
how
200 days.
how did he fix this?
Well, I'm
Yeah,
not saying he
the
did,
last
but
the
you're asking me
last
about
rate
the
cuts from the
cost of
Federal
goods.
Reserve. The last rate cuts from the Federal Reserve was in December under Biden.
Okay, so let me ask you, do you think that rates are going to get cut in September?
Why are you deflecting?
I'm not. I'm
You
just
are
asking.
deflecting. No, because you're supposed to be giving an argument. Why are you just incapable of giving an argument? I asked you for one real issue that Donald Trump has fixed in the last 200 days because you said that they were focused on fixing them. You said that interest rates have gone down. I bring up that the Federal Reserve hasn't cut interest rates since the Biden-Harris administration, and then you start asking me questions if you think they'll come down in the future. No, answer my question. What is one real issue that Trump has fixed in the last 200 days? Oh my goodness gracious. Please. Nike! Thank you for the 50 Canadian dollars over on Super Chat. Thank you, Nike. Nike with the 50 Canadian dollars says, would pay 30, but Super Chat, and I'm Canadian, so now I can't use PayPal, but you deserve that $20 more. Also, hope you get a nice, nice Mickey D's or your favorite meal with a $50. You know what, Nike? I'm going to have to take you up on that. I'm going to use the $50 you just sent to buy a nice steak. And on the 21st birthday, a bottle of wine and one for my girlfriend too. Not the second bottle of wine, just a second steak. We only need one. Thank you so much for the love, Nike. That is incredibly kind of you. Let's get 500 Nike W's down below, and I really appreciate you for your support. I think that this guest is leaving at this point. I don't know. I think that she's leaving. She's
No,
ba-
you were talking. I
she's
didn't know
back.
if you wanted me to interrupt you or not.
So when you're on pause, I can't hear you. But quickly, let me think of another couple people. Sammy, thank you for the $5 saying you think somebody in finance would know how interest rates and taxes work. Seemingly. Lovey, thank you for the $1 and just read that. I'm really sorry to hear that. Jessica, thank you for the $5 saying I don't know what this chat's obsession is with spamming, and also Lovey, I got you. Jessica with a $5 says, I don't know what the chat's obsession is with spamming about repost today, but they haven't even been looking at it. Keep it up, Dean. Appreciate you. Wait, actually, sometimes they could like be spamming about that, and it's like meaningful because the repost is pretty bad. 11th repost. I don't know. Let's see what her 11th repost is. 9, 10, 11.
Just leave. That's all you gotta do. You can pack your fucking bags and bounce on out. Say tien. Adios. Boja.
I was just some Trump guy telling like people that don't like America to leave, and then saying bye in a bunch of languages.
Virginia. Anyang.
That's what it is.
I just feel like that's like very like typical like Trump supporter garbage. I feel like that's just like some typical like MAGA droid like Facebook like muck. Like yeah, here's your daily dose of shit. Literal dog shit. Shove it down your throat. Do you think that
It
people
was
that
in
don't like
response to people talking about how they hate the country. And like, if you hate the country you live in, then just leave. That goes for any other country. It's just like the immigration policy. People are mad about people getting deported, but there are countries in the world that if you enter illegally and you get caught, they will literally kill you. You're lucky that you just get sent out of the United States to do so in wherever you want to.
Okay. So you're saying that because there's other countries in the world that will literally unalive individuals for coming into the country as an undocumented individual. Therefore, you're lucky that you're only deported here, since that is better than dying. That's your position, right?
Yeah, because post people get
let
killed.
me ask you a question. Would you rather die or be tortured than released?
I'd rather probably die. I mean, honestly.
What about like tortured for like a week? Rather die or be tortured for a week and then be released to live your life for another like 80 years?
I'd click at that point be tortured because I do have kids and a
Okay,
family.
so you think that being tortured for a week then released is preferable for dying. So if the Trump administration tortured undocumented immigrants for a week and then released them through deportation, would you say that they're lucky since there's other countries in the world that would just unalive them, and you think that's worse?
I mean, that's a different, like,
Oh.
I'm not going to say it's a different argument, though, because I get your
yeah,
point there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking to me like I'm stupid, but I feel like I've been really respectful this whole time.
I'm sorry. Take it away.
I mean, when it comes to things like that, obviously, like, your people are going to have different kind of standpoints when it depending on who you ask on those kind of questions. But again, look at all of the different presidencies and what they've deported and what's been imported, however you want to look at that. This administration under Trump has deported probably, I'd say, like 50% of what some of your other administrations have done themselves.
Okay, awesome. So the reason why I think that the Trump administration specifically is like so incredibly bad as it relates to deportations is because point number one, they're focusing on deporting all undocumented immigrants, not just undocumented immigrants with prior criminal/violent criminal offenses. Point number two, they're deporting them in violation of their constitutional rights. Donald Trump has unapologetically deported Venezuelan immigrants to El Salvador with no due process. He has unapologetically illegally deported Abrigo Garcia, where he was beaten, tortured, and starved for 3 weeks in El Salvador against the ruling of the Supreme Court. He's also been locking up legal immigrants such as Mahmoud Khalil, who's a legal green card holder in a nice detention facility for 3 months. He's been black bagging college students and moving them to detention centers thousands of miles away against the orders of federal judges. And I think that's what makes his administration especially worse. And this is like all compiled on top of the rhetoric that he uses to refer to undocumented immigrants to justify these very heinous constitutional and human rights violations of like saying that undocumented immigrants are poisoning the blood of the country, or referring to all undocumented immigrants as escapees from prisons and mental institutions.
I think there's a difference, though, between someone seeking refuge in the country and then someone
Not
just
responding
coming
to any of my points. Cut off. Didn't respond to anything I said.
Okay, well then why don't you just move on to the next one, because everybody else wants you to anyways.
I mean, do you want to try to respond to my point first? I gave like very clear reason insofar as like why Donald Trump's mass deportation.
No, I'm good. I think you're like borderline rude. You don't want to have a civil debate. You just want to make your points and not try to see the other person's, even if it's not as educated as the way that you say your points.
Listen, bro, I don't like interrupt you to hurt your feelings. I interrupt you for productivity. Like, I just brought up like 5 clear and distinct points insofar as like why Donald Trump's deportation is really bad and worse than other administrations. And then you just ignore it all and you start talking about refugees.
Because
Like,
what
oh,
I'm
okay.
gathering
Like,
here
obviously,
is
if I
that
didn't
you don't
interrupt you,
care for-
obviously, if I didn't interrupt you there, you would have yapped for like another 3 minutes about something that is not responding to the points that I just made.
Because what I'm gathering is you don't care for someone to make a valid point. You care to make valid points of your own.
I actually care for people to make valid points, and that's why I interrupted you, because you were making an invalid point that didn't respond to my argument.
All right. Well, you have a blessed day.
Yeah, you too, I assume. We're going to move on to the next Trump supporter right now. Hop in that queue if you're an American adult that supports Trump. I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit a little off the rails today. I don't know if you guys are taking note. You know, I'm not like in a bad mood. I just I'm not here for this shit. You know what I mean? I don't know. Let's go and get that next guest up here. If you're in that queue, make sure that you are a Trump supporter. We are only looking to talk to MAGA. We are only looking to talk to MAGA. Rob, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo. Thank you, Rob. Rob with the 15 says, thanks for dealing with a hypocritical guest and for sharing about Quentin Quarantino's IG. I'm sending 10x this to his selected charity, the PCRF, for starving children in Gaza. I'm a dad now, and this really matters. First and foremost, Rob, you're the fucking man, okay? I gotta let you know. Thank you so much for the love to myself as well as the donation to PCRF. And then second of all, that is a very nice fucking Ferrari in your profile picture you got there, man. Beautiful, Rob. I'm beautiful. I'm trying to be like you one day, okay? I'm trying to be like you. Fucking coasting in a goddamn Ferrari while also caring about the world and contributing to humanitarian causes that make the world around you better. Good shit, Rob. You're an icon. Second of all, Kalia, thank you for the $30 over on Venmo. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Kalia. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you, Kalia. Let's get 300 Kalia W's down below. Kalia says, this guest is rotting my brain, and I now understand why Trump wants to defund the Department of Education so people can continue to mindlessly follow him like her. Yup! He wants to keep them dumb. Quite frankly, Kalia, thank you for the $30. That is incredibly kind of you. And good message. As well as Jen, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Thank you, Jen. And Rowdy with the $5 saying, I love the fuck you energy you're giving these idiots. I'm not trying to. I'm just a little fed up. You know what I mean? As well as Rodney, thank you for the $10 on YouTube saying why she's still here. She hated the country under Biden. I was tempted to ask her that. I really was. That would have been a good one. Then Kai with the $10. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much. You're awesome, Kai. Hey, welcome in. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Oh, love him.
I don't know if that was a yes or no. Quite frankly, do you or do you not support Trump?
I think he's fantastic.
Oh, okay. What time is it?
It is 2:45 in the morning in Switzerland. How are you doing?
You know what? I'm doing okay. I'm actually not going to immediately kick you. I've had a couple of like MAGA fanatics load into the live from Europe, for instance, and I always kick you out really quickly because we're here to talk to Americans. But I'm just curious, why are you a MAGA fanatic? What do you truly know about Trump that makes you be I love him?
Quite curious about you because I think you're a really great orator. I think the platform you've got is fantastic, and between all of the things that have been happening the last year, I wanted to hate you, but now I'm very intrigued about who you are.
Well, I appreciate that, man. That's very kind of you. I do just want to point out you are kind of on borrowed time right now. Remember, under regular circumstances, I would have kicked you a couple minutes ago.
Yeah,
but just before I kick you, why do you like Trump? I'm curious. What is what is the what is your perspective on Trump from Europe, and why do you like him?
I would say I'm 43-year-old, and over time that you haven't even been alive, I'm everything politically has been very boring, and it's the first time that something's actually been proactive politically.
Yeah, it's just not boring anymore. Are you entertained over there in Switzerland watching the Americans lose access to healthcare? Are you entertained over there in Switzerland watching the 3 million low-income Americans lose food stamps? Are you entertained over there in Switzerland watching these 66 million American women and girls lose access to healthcare, with 60 pregnant rape victims per day being denied access to abortion, and 10 of our states whose policy doesn't impact you because once again you're in Switzerland? Really, bro?
Mate, I pay it like it cost me $4,000 just before I get my insurance to kick in here.
We're gonna move on to the next guest. Bro, what an L take, dude. Politics are supposed to be boring. Let me make that clear. Politics are supposed to be boring. When politics are boring and nobody's really paying attention, that is when we're doing all right. If we're no longer worried about people losing rights, if we're no longer worried about people dying because they can't go to the hospital anymore, right? Nobody's tuned in because it's boring. A debate on the floor of the Senate for 3 hours over if people that make over $400,000 per year should get taxed at 35% or 35.5%. See, that is where we're supposed to be. That is where we're supposed to be. Hey, I'm Neil. Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Bro, I did not mean to join.
Hey, man, no worries at all. No worries at all, bro. We're going to move on to the next guest. Hop in that queue if you support Trump. We'll get you up here. We'll have a debate. All right? Just looking to talk to MAGA. I want to make that point clear. Only hop in that queue if you support Trump. As well as, Scarlett! Dude, Scarlett, thank you so much for the $50 over on Super Chat. I appreciate that, Scarlett. Can we get 500 Scarlett W's down below for the $50? That is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you, Scarlett. Show some love to Scarlett. That is incredibly kind. Thank you so much, Scarlett. You are awesome. As well as Rob, thank you for another $25 over on Venmo. Says, it's a Lotus. Glad you like it. Less than a Ferrari, but still fun. Shit, Rob. I feel like I just lost my my car guy card. It's really small. I thought I saw those Ferrari taillights. It's my bad. Nice Lotus, though, man. You don't see those often. Again, keep speaking truth, and please keep giving to great causes as your earnings grow your success. Another $250 to PCRF2. Rob, you know what? That's good advice. Thank you for the good advice, Rob. Once again, you're the fucking man. Show some love to Scarlett and Rob down below in that comment section while we hop into this next debate. Thank you, Scarlett and Rob. What's going on, Jay Sloths? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
And how old are you?
18.
And what year are you born in?
2007.
What month?
February 2nd.
February 2nd. You sound like you're lying.
Why?
I don't know. You seem very, hesitant. Are you lying?
No, sir.
Okay, whatever. I'll trust you. Why the hell do you support Trump? He's the worst president of your life.
Alright, I'm going to go with economic policy.
Ooh, his economic policy sucks, though. That big, beautiful bill is giving the top 1% an additional 4% back per year in taxes. Meanwhile, it's stealing from poor people, cutting $10 million off of Medicaid. For those that stay on Medicaid, their premiums are expected to go up by 75%, and cutting $3 million of them off of food stamps. Let's start there. His economic policy so far in his term has seemingly been Robin Hood for the rich.
So, you don't believe in trickle-down economics, I'm assuming, correct? You don't believe in that at all?
I don't believe in trickle-down economics because they don't work, and we know they don't work. Since Reagan introduced them, we've only seen a stagnation in worker wages with an increase in worker productivity. The very obvious answer is that if you want to make the life of the average American better, cut their taxes. Don't cut the taxes of the billionaire business owner that doesn't give it to them at the end of the day through empirical evidence from the last 35 years.
He did cut lower class taxes with no tax on tips and no tax on overtime.
Right. However, with our research and studies from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, we know because of all the cuts in the bill, like to Medicaid, like to food stamps, like to the DOE, so on and so forth, if you make at or beneath $51,000 per year, you're going to have less purchasing power. You're going to have to spend more money on food, spend more money to go to the hospital, spend more money on energy because of his rollbacks on the clean on the clean energy credits offered in the IRA and so on. If you want to see a full evaluation of these claims, feel free to go to the CBPP website.
So did he cut EBT? Is that why food prices are going up, you're claiming?
That was not my claim.
Like, why would they?
Oh,
Well,
I
like,
said they're
I'm
gonna have to
asking,
spend
is
more
that
money on
why?
food because they're no longer getting government assistance.
And what people did he cut off government assistance?
10 million.
Because to
low-income
my
Americans
knowledge, in the
from
big beautiful
healthcare,
bill, it's
3 million low-income Americans from food stamps.
When I read the bill though, it said people within the age group 18 to 65 who are able to work.
Yeah, that's for Medicaid. Yeah, I don't think that you should have to work even if you're able to work in order to receive health care.
But those doctors have to work for your health.
Okay.
Like they have to show up to work and still do that.
Just like the policemen and women
Right.
have to show up to work to answer to the 911 call, but you don't have to be working in order to call 911. That's kind of like the suggestion of what the foundation of a necessary social safety net is. We're paying people to do services that are necessary for a well-functioning society.
All right. So the issue with that is that the police are public while the doctors work for privately owned companies,
Right,
except for I guess healthcare is
what would be
publicly
public
funded.
would be the healthcare.
So you believe everybody should have free healthcare, even if they're like rich, right? So that's just a basis for everybody, free healthcare for everybody.
I do.
I'm
but
not trying to get you in like a gotcha moment, but that's just
I
where
do.
we're at.
I do, but for this debate, we're specifically talking about low-income Americans that were cut off of Medicaid. But I do think that everybody, regardless of your income, should have access to free healthcare. Right? But let's stick on the 10 million low-income Americans that
Alright.
lost it under the
So
Big
would
Beautiful
you
Bill.
think that? Oh, okay.
Right? Because that's what we're debating.
Okay. So. Okay.
Oh,
That
MAGA Mobile.
in the 8%.
MAGA Mobile, quite frankly, can't understand a thing you're saying. Can't understand a thing you're saying. Can't understand it. Try again, my friend. Everything you just said was going like this. Yep, 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 yep. That's what you sounded like. Oh, you still got it now. Hey, man, turn off
Oh,
your
okay.
internet.
So was it my Wi-Fi or?
There you go. Now you sound good. Okay, so I'll catch you up. Let's see where we left off on. So we left off on you telling me that the people being cut off of Medicaid are those that can work that aren't working. Then I responded to that by saying, well, although I agree that if you can work, you should be working, I don't think that healthcare policy should be the policy to enforce that. I think that you should have access to go to a hospital paid for by Medicaid if you're a low-income American, regardless if you can or can't work, because it is an essential social safety net. And I believe essential social safety net or social services are given to people regardless of their employment status. And this is something that we've already kind of agreed to. We agree that you should be able to drive on public roadways regardless if you work or not. We agree that you should be able to call the cops or call the firemen and women regardless if you work or not, because they're essential. They keep people alive. They extend people's lifespans the same way hospitals and health insurance are essential. They keep people alive and they extend individuals' lifespans.
Okay. So it seems like it's getting into moral, but I'm actually okay with that. So so do you think that this would at all affect doctors' wages? Like in Europe, they're paid much less than they are here.
I'm so sorry. Respond, or I guess explain how asking how doctors' wages would be affected would respond to what I just said insofar as why I think that Medicaid shouldn't have a work requirement on it.
You were lagging a little bit. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to repeat it again, man. It's not your fault, though. All right. Obviously, you don't control your internet connection, so I'm not going to shit on you. We're just going to move on to the next guest. Have a good rest of your day. While we move on to the next guest, we got Jaden Myers connecting. Hey, Butt Cheek Bo. What a name. Thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat saying, I'm just a 33-year-old learning from a 20-year-old about politics. Thank you for all that you do, man. Also, happy early birthday. Mine is also on September 1st. Have fun and be safe, my dude. Hey, man, happy early birthday to you, too. Happy early birthdays both ways. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. And I'm happy. I'm happy that the streams are educational. That's what I intend, dude. As well as Kat, thank you for the $2 on Venmo. Thank you. As well as if you're watching and you'd like to support me, you could support me on Venmo. You could find my Venmo in the link tree in my bio on TikTok, as well as that pinned message on YT. Now, you can't support me on PayPal anymore. My PayPal got fucking banned. Okay? Right? Oh my God, PayPal got banned. All the money in the account is frozen. Oh, it's a whole mess. I don't want to get into it again. But you could only support me on Venmo. right? Now, if like you're from like Canada, for instance, where they don't have Venmo and you still want to support me, you still do have the option / availability to support me over on Super Chat on YouTube. But let's go to get that next guest loaded into the live right now. Going to put a MAGA with your age down below and we'll get you connected. And for the 9,000 people in here, guys, make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen and sharing out this live with a handful of friends. What's up? Do you support Trump?
No, I don't.
Then banned, because we're only looking to talk to Trump supporters. Brianne, thank you so much for the $10 over at Venmo. Brianne says, hey, Dean, universal health care and better access overall for mental health services would potentially keep kept 2 kids alive today. Fuck how much the doctors get paid. Also, my wife wants to know what keyboard you have. Well, yeah, first and foremost, I mean, I just think that, like, you know, healthcare keeps people alive. Like, I think that you were like hinting at your message that like your children, if you lost your children, I'm really sorry. That is like literally one of the worst things you could go through. But like, this would be like hundreds of thousands of children, millions of Americans, right? And that is so important. And insofar as the type of keyboard that I have, I honestly really don't know. It's just a generic 60% keyboard off of Amazon. What's up, Jaden? Do you support Trump?
Do you goon to Charlie Kirk?
Dude, what a weirdo, Jaden. Grow up, bro. I understand you're probably like 15, but come on, bro. That is like, grow up. Grow up, Jaden. Grow up. That is like such a 15-year-old thing to say. That is such a 15-year-old thing to say, bro. Grow up, man. Grow up. What's up, Jab? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, could you come a little bit closer to your mic?
Yeah.
Yeah, are you pissing?
No, I'm not. I just got done shaving though. What's up?
Okay, how old are you?
26.
Can you leave the bathroom? The acoustics are just a little bit.
Yeah, give me just a second. Let me rinse this shaving cream off my face real quick.
Yeah, you rinse that shit, brother. While he's rinsing that shit, I'd like to thank Madeline for the $10 over on Venmo. Thank you, Madeline. Madeline with $10 says there was a shooting in MN today at school. That's where the donor was talking about. 2 kids died. Yeah. I see that. We talked about that earlier. That is so sad. You know, once again, I would love to extend my thoughts and my condolences to the families of those affected and those affected. That is such a travesty. You know, I can't imagine being in the shoes of one of the family members or, you know, one of the people in the church. That is just truly, you know, like one of the most scary experiences conceivable. Anyways, Jab, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Well, first off, he got that damn Cracker Barrel logo fixed.
I will grant that he did do that. He sent out a tweet saying, Cracker Barrel, you better do this. And then they did it. They listened to Trump. But I don't think a fucking logo of a restaurant is on a list.
No. Reword it right, Dean. A liberal CEO listened to Trump.
You're trolling, right?
No, I'm not. She's liberal as hell.
Okay.
The new CEO,
Well,
she came in trying to rebrand the place, and guess what? It took Donald Trump to tell her how to run her own fucking business.
Can I be honest?
What's up?
I literally don't care less. I couldn't care less. Come on, Cracker
you was talking about Bud Light. You was talking about Bud Light, you know, whenever that shit happened.
You know what? No. Trump didn't get them to fix the logo. Newsom got them to fix the logo. Yeah. Newsom went on Twitter. Okay, Newsom said, this logo is terrible. Quite frankly, it's so bad. It's so terrible. It's so terrible. Fix the logo. Fix it now. And then they listened to him. Gavin Newsom got them to fix the logo.
No, he probably liked the rebranded logo.
No, he said he didn't. He said he hated it. And that they need to fix it right now. And then when they fixed it, he sent another tweet saying that they listened to him and he got it done. And that must be true.
Listen. Leave it to the liberal to take the cracker and the barrel outside of the Cracker Barrel logo. Come on now. Somebody found that offensive. That's why. That's why they did it. I'm telling you. They wanted to appeal to a broader audience was the CEO's statement. Come on, Dean. Can you explain that for me? Because I don't understand.
Leave it to the liberal to take the cracker and the barrel out of the... Are you talking about the white dude sitting on the barrel and the logo?
Yes.
Oh, it was pretty funny. No, you're not a Trump supporter. There's no way you're a Trump supporter because that was a good one. You're trolling, right?
No. All right, hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah, you are a troll. Get out of here. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go to get the next guest loaded in here, guys. Go ahead and put a mag with your age down below in that chat. We'll get you loaded up in here. Okay. All right. We're gonna get that next Trump supporter loaded up in here, guys. No more playing around, you guys. No more playing around. We're looking for some real debates. Everyone, just give us a minute. What's up? Do you support Trump?
No, I just had a debate you could use for like.
I'm sorry, I banned you. Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. Everyone, we're gonna go to get that next guest up in here, guys. Go to put a MAGA down below in that chat. Yeah, go to put a MAGA down below in that chat if you want to join. We're only looking to talk to Trump supporters. Quite frankly, who's next? Quite frankly, we got Whitney. Sarah, thank you for the $2 on Venmo, saying that you're a Trump impersonation. Maybe crack up. Man, I love pulling that one out. I'm not too good at it, but it's still funny, right? Oh my God, as well as Ryan, man, holy shit, thank you for the $50 over on Venmo. Holy shit, Ryan, thank you. Ryan with $50 says, longtime listener, appreciate everything that you do, Dean. Thanks, bro. That is so kind of you. I hope that you're doing all right. Hope that you're having a good day. You deserve it. Thank you for the $50, and I appreciate you for tuning in. Dude, show some love to Mr. Ryan down below in that comment section while we're looking for this next Trump supporter to come up here and debate us insofar as why they support Trump. But seriously, thank you so much, Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna move on to Barb. Miranda, thank you for the $15 on Venmo. That's quite good.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Child. If you're not actually a child, hop back in the queue. You're just, I don't know. Child, I think you're a kid. Miranda, thank you for the $15. Saying, once again, thank you for keeping me up to date with the current political events and being able to back your arguments coherently. Put Trump in the dump. Oh, I like that. Chat, we need to put Trump in the dump. Nell, do you think we should put Trump in the dump?
Absolutely. I first of all want to say hi, Dean. It's an honor to speak.
Hi. Listen, you are so based. I had to kick you. On a real note, we are only looking to talk to Trump supporters. You are fantastic, though. And I'm happy that you want to put Trump in the dump. That's fucking great. I always feel so bad, like kicking guests off that aren't following the rules. Especially like when I feel like they're going to go on to say something very kind. Just know that was not disrespectful. I kicked you because of how much respect I have for you, because you're not a Trump supporter, and we're only looking to talk to MAGA. What's going on, Stephanie? Do you support Trump? Trump in the dump? I gotta ban you too, Stephanie. Okay, all right. It looks like we've won the war. I don't even know what to say anymore. There's just no Trump supporters in here. I guess we'll keep on looking, though. All right, we're gonna try to get that next Trump supporter up in here right now, quite frankly.
Fuck! Oh, fuck you, Dean. Fuck you, Dean. You're fat.
Ah, Jesus Christ. Yumi, thank you for the $10 on Super Chat, saying the future is bright because of people like you. Thank you so much for the love, Yumi. And then Ailey with the $10 Canadian on Super Chat, saying, hey, Dean, I'm a big fan of yours. Also, happy early birthday. Thank you so much for the love, Ailey. And then Jacob with the $10 as well, saying, thanks for the great streams. You're welcome, Jacob. I appreciate you for watching them. I've been listening to your stream since January, and I've learned a lot about you from you since. Keep up the great work. Thank you. As well as Stefan with the $10 on Super Chat, saying, hey, Dean, love your TikToks. As a 26-year-old guy in New York City, there are a surprising amount of logically incorrect arguments, and I thank you for making so many cogent and logical arguments. Thank you, Stefan. You guys are being so kind today. I swear to God, I love reading off the messages on these donations. It puts a smile on my face. You guys are so kind. We're going to get that next guest loaded up in here. Ash, thank you for the $1 in cash.
I'm 20.
You're 20?
2005.
What year were you born in?
2005, April 10th.
Okay.
I got a little excited before. I'm sorry.
Do you support Trump?
I support Trump, yes.
Why is that?
Well, because, I have to admit I'm fairly undereducated, and he was in that TV show, The Apprentice, and he kicked people off and said you were fired, which means he probably...
Banned. Goodbye. Oh, yo, Laughing Lion, thank you so much for the $21 over on Cash App. Thank you so much for the love, Laughing Lion. If you guys could please show some love to Laughing Lion down below in the chat, saying, for happy birthday, getting old-fashioned tonight. Okay, I thought I should clarify once again. My birthday is not for a couple more days. It's on September 1st, but Laughing Lion, I will use that $21 to get an old-fashioned on my birthday. Because let me tell you, I've obviously never had an old-fashioned before. In fact, I don't even know what that is.
Hello?
Age?
14.
Yeah, how about? I don't even know what that is, okay? I have no clue. Old-fashioned, What's that? But hey, listen, it sounds great. I'll have to try it out. People in the chat are saying whiskey. I don't know what that is either. I'm not 21 yet, you guys. No clue. None. No clue. What is whiskey? Is that like a seltzer? Is that like can you get like apple peach whiskey with the bubbles in it at like 4.3% ABV? Wait, I don't even know what 4.3% ABV is. I'm just, speaking out of my ass, honestly. Let's go to get that next guest connected. Guys, hop in that queue if you support Trump. We haven't had a Trump supporter in here for a while. I'd appreciate if you guys would follow those rules. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Fuck Trump.
Hey, base, but banned. Moving on, guys. Only hop in the queue if you are MAGA. I don't know what's going on tonight, guys. We are only 3 hours into the stream, and we just don't have any Trump supporters left. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Talking to me?
Yes, I am talking to you. Do you support Trump?
I do, yeah. I voted for him the last 3 times. Hi.
Oh, man. Hi. Dude, Trump sucks. Why would you support him? And vote for him 3 times.
I don't know. Apparently he sucks the way I like. I don't know.
Okay, well, I guess, why do you support him? Just open-ended question, run with it. Why are you a fan?
He's common folk. He thinks like we do, and I like it.
Billionaires are common folk?
Well, I don't actually necessarily qualify billionaire, but I got plenty of money.
Okay, if you have plenty of money and you're like even slightly comparable to that of a billionaire, you're not quote unquote common folk either.
Okay. We're all in the same boat.
We're not all in the same boat. That's not true.
Well, I am. I'm in the boat. Where the hell are you? You in the water?
You've been drinking some moonshine. Should I try that on my 21st birthday too?
Oh, hell no. I've been drinking some Glenlivet, 23-year-old stuff. Yeah. This is my 3rd glass.
Okay, very nice. How about this? What if I give an argument? Trump is bad because he's been violating the Constitution.
Well, maybe he has. I don't know. But he has gotten around it, hasn't he? Just like the Democrats do.
When did the Democrats belligerently violate the Constitution, such as Trump when he attempted to ban burning the American flag?
I guess they hung black people in the South, didn't they?
Okay. I don't know about this. Talking about lynching black individuals in the American South. To like some old guy with a Southern accent. Here's what I think I'll say. Don't try to use generations of torture, trauma, and killing to make like a one-line quip about why you don't like Democrats. I think that maybe that's a fair ask, right?
I don't like Democrats. No,
we're talking about like we're talking about like why you support Trump. I bring up that Donald Trump has violated the Constitution, and then you just give us like a one-line quip about how like black individuals were lynched in the American South.
I was a Democrat until Carter.
Could you like clarify? Is that a fair ask?
I was sick of it after that. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that Trump is better than Carter?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Was Carter an adjudicated rapist like Trump?
I have no idea.
He was.
I don't think either one of them are, but
Did Carter boast about perving on like naked teenage girls like Trump has?
I have no idea.
No, he didn't. How do you feel about that? How do you feel
I'm talking about presidency. I'm not talking about personal problems.
How do you feel about the fact that your president has boasted about perving on kids and they were naked?
So, who hasn't?
Oh, what? Did you just say that who hasn't? Do you boast about perving on kids? Bro. Oh my God. Do you do that?
No. Good God, I'm 73 years old. There's nothing I can do.
I'm just going to move on. What the fuck kind of response was that? Oh, man. Oh, shit, you guys. I just got my Cash App shut down. Hey, Christine, I really appreciate you so much for trying to donate me $100 over on Cash App. That is very kind of you, Christine. However, that $100 was put back into your bank account because Cash App just closed my account. Like PayPal, Cash App also just closed my account. But Christine, I still really appreciate you for the love nonetheless. That is very kind of you. And thank you so much for trying to donate $100. That is insane. Thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Cash App out of the link tree in the bio. Thank you so much. But Christine, if you do want to support me, you can support me over on Venmo right now. That's all we got. I appreciate you so much for the love. Show some love to Christine. Show some love to Christine, just for like the sentiment of a $100 donation. That's very kind of you, Christine. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Dang, I want to eat your toes, bro. Let me eat them.
There's the British guy that wants to eat my toes. He comes up like every couple months and says that. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, guys. Let's go get our next guest user. Yo, Libby, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo saying take it slow on your birthday. On my 21st, I had no clue what my tolerance was, and I told my friends to drive me to my family.
Dean, do you jerk off to Kamala Harris?
Cringe. Weird. You. Goodbye. Moving on to our next guest, guys. Hop in that queue if you support Trump. We got the real J. Donald Trump loading up. But once again, Libby with the $20 saying take it slow on your birthday. When I was 21, I had no clue what my tolerance was. I don't even know what a tolerance is. You know, truly, Libby. I don't know. I might try a beer. Oh, or better yet, maybe a lick of tequila. I heard it's good. I've seen it in the commercials. Truly, Libby. Thank you for the $20. Show some love to Libby down below. As well as Ariella. Thank you for the $5. Saying, ex-Trump supporter here. I appreciate you opening my eyes, man. We need more people like you running the government. Keep roasting the Trump supporters. Let's go. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you, Ariella. Thank you so much for opening your eyes and coming to the right side of history. What's up? Do you support Trump? He's not a Trump supporter. Mad Scramble, thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat. I appreciate you for that. Love that. Mad says, fun fact, the brandy old fashioned is the official cocktail of Wisconsin. It's so popular that over 50% of Korbel brandy sales go to Wisconsin. Damn. Y'all love your old fashions. Jesus. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Age?
I'm 19.
There's no way. I cannot believe you. Good day. We're still struggling to look for a Trump supporter. Only request of your MAGA. Emma with the $10 on Super Chat saying that old dude was wild. Each day I wake up thinking I can't be shocked by anything anymore, and yet here I am, jaw on the floor. Yucks. Dude, like literally, like we are not able to find Trump supporters, and then those that we do find, we end up kicking in like 5 minutes for saying like the most insane shit known to mankind ever. We got Troy loading up. As well as Aaron. Aaron, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much. That is ERIN. Show some love to Aaron down below in that comment section. Aaron said, who hasn't for therapy, Dean G's? Yeah, that old motherfucker was nuts, dude. Thank you for the $50, Aaron. Show some love to Aaron down below. Let's get 500 Aaron W's. Thank you so much, Aaron. What's going on, Troy? Are you MAGA?
Oh my goodness, Dad.
Get out of here, kid. Good day. Moving on to Maxwell. Pro, children, stop it. You know what? For all the kids coming up in here, like, go get your parents and have them request. I'll debate them. What's up? Do you support Trump? No, they're not even here. You know, I feel like the lack of Trump supporters in here just simply isn't getting to me today as I can't even speak, sorry. As it has in the past. Echo, goodbye. But like, we're definitely just not getting many Trump supporters. All right, moving on to the next guest. Here we go. Honestly, would you go ahead and put a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section if you'd like to come up here? Would you guys just put it in the chat? Put it in the. Sorry, guys. I don't know why my stutter's like freaking out right now. Jesus. Go ahead and put it in the chat if you're MAGA. I'll happily have you up here. Okay, we see Jackson. Let's go to get Jackson up here. Dude, he literally has 2010 in his username. Get the fuck out of here, Jackson. Moving on to the next guest. Come on, bro. Come on. Trump is better. Okay. All right. Let's get this person over here. What's up? You support Trump?
Yeah, I actually do.
How old are you?
18,
What year were you born in?
2006,
Okay. What month?
August.
And why do you support Trump?
Well, because Trump, he literally made America by, like, just being here. Like, he just has a spark on here, right? And, like, he just added stuff to the country. You know what Kamala did? That bitch just black.
Goodbye. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go to get that next guest connected into the stream. We got Haley loading up right now. Okay. Welcome in, Haley. Do you support Trump? Nope, Haley left. Dude. Oh my God. Okay, it's starting to get to me, guys. Last 5 Trump supporters. We had Justin Howard. He came up here and he freaked out and just lost his shit. We kicked him. After Justin Howard's, we had a Nazi that was asking me to prove that grape was wrong. Then we had old man who's like, hasn't everybody perved on children? And then we had that person that was like, well, Kamala Harris was black and that's why I support Trump. Oh my God. It's like, this might be the way the streams die. This might be the way that the streams die. Is not from a complete lack of people that support Trump as president, but the only people left that do are like that. Like, no, I won't be able to have a debate with a Nazi. No, I won't be able to have a debate with an old man that thinks everybody's perved on kids. I won't be able to have a debate with somebody that thinks white people are better at leading than black people. I just, oh my God. You know, like, what happened to, like, economic policy? What happened to, like, to tariffs? Will somebody come up here and talk to me about fucking tariffs? I don't know. What's up? Do you support Trump?
My nigga Dean,
Get
what's
the
good, brother?
fuck out of here. What are you doing? What are you doing? God damn it. Moving on. Let's go ahead and get that next guest, Robbie, loaded in. Jordan, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for that love, Jordan. Jordan with the $20 says, appreciate what you stand for. Happy early birthday. Thank you, Jordan. Let's get 200 Jordan W's down below. That is Jordyn. Then Brandon with the $2. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys are very, very kind. Very, very kind. Show some love to our donors. As well as Liz with the $10 saying, love your work. Dean, enjoy a paper plane on me on your 21st. Thank you. As well as Rose. Thank you so much for the $20 on Super Chat. Thank you, Rose. Sorry, not 20, 50. Let's show some love to Rose down below for the $50 Super Chat. I want to see 500 Rose W's while we're looking for this next Trump supporter. Rose says, you gave me the idea to debate Trump supporters, and I love to hear their crazy reasons why they support him. Well, hopefully you're enjoying that, Rose. Thank you for the $50, seriously. As well as Libby with the $10 saying Obama is still the most popular president in U.S. history. I mean, I don't know. I think that other presidents have had higher approval rates, I'd assume, like before, like bipartisanship. And Biden got more votes. So, like, what is the metric you're using to calculate that? What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
19.
Okay. And why do you support Trump?
Because Cookie King mugs the fuck out of you, bro.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Any real reasons?
No, I'm Canadian.
Oh,
but Cookie
okay.
King.
Enjoy your maple syrup, my man. We're going to get that next Trump supporter up in here. What are we doing? Let's see. Mila, thank you so much for the $21 over on Venmo. Mila. Oh.
Hello? Hold on 1 second.
Hey.
Sorry. Do you vape?
What is going on in that household?
There's a bunch of people crying. Hold on, let me give you to my dad.
Oh, it's also a child. I think that your father has other things to focus on. That didn't sound all right to me. I'm concerned. I'm not even like making a joke.
Yo, for Trump.
Yeah, 1 second, man. I'm not even like making a joke. That was like legitimately concerning. What's up, man? How old are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 32.
And you said that you support Trump?
Yeah, 2016.
Okay. Can you get a little bit closer to your mic, my friend?
Yeah, 2016. That was exciting.
Oh man, you were still like really quiet. Is there anything that you could do to like speak up a little bit?
Hello?
I mean, chat. Do you guys hear him all right? I think he's a little quiet.
Sorry.
If you guys hear him all right, then we'll debate whatever. I just think he's a little quiet. But, like, let me know. Can you guys hear him all right? Yes, he's good.
Hello?
Okay, maybe he's just quiet to me. Weird. I don't know. Here, 1 second. Let me thank Mila for the $21 once again. Mila with the $21 says, thank you so much for all that you do, Dean. I listen to you most afternoons while I'm working, and I learn so much from you. Thank you so much for the love, Mila. That is so kind of you.
First of all,
Go ahead.
you're fired. Number one, you're fired.
Fired from what?
That's why, because you're fired. We
Okay,
knew you
cringe.
was gonna be good.
This
Number
is
one. Number
this
two,
is cringe. I don't even know what that like. What?
you're fired.
What is it? What is it? Fired from what?
He's the meme president.
Okay, so you support him
You're
because
fi-
he's an asshole?
Yeah, because he could bomb people and say you're fired, and really mean it.
Bomb people?
Yeah, like Obama was like, we're cool.
Okay, so are you just like now trivializing like death by like bombs? You're just like laughing at people like literally getting fucking blown up? I don't think that's too funny. Like see what I'm talking about, you guys? Like these aren't normal people. Like you're not normal. You support Trump because you like to laugh at dead people. Really?
That's internet. I'm 32.
God, you have a fucking sad life. When I'm 32, I want to have a family, a mortgage, right? A wife, maybe a kid. Instead, you're like, what? Sitting in your room laughing at dead people? Oh my God. Like, what? There's no counter argument to that. You just kick them. But like, this is the issue that I'm running into today. There's no debates because they're not giving debatable perspectives. I can't debate his reason that he supports Trump, that is that he likes to laugh at dead people. I support Trump because I like to laugh at dead people. What the fuck do I say to that? Ugh. Moving on. Nina, thank you so much for the $20 on Super Chat. That is Nenna. Thank you, Nina. Nina didn't leave a message, only the love. Just thank you so much. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much, Nina. As well as, oh my God, dude. Holy shit. Christine and Gabrielle with the $100 apiece. Christine and Gabriel, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Yo, this is the same Christine that tried to support us over on Cash App and has now made it on Venmo. Christine, I love you. That is so kind of you. Christine says, oh my goodness, canceled your Cash App, right? As I tried to give you an early birthday gift because I love watching your lives. Keep schooling these Trump supporters. Well, Christine, that is so kind of you. Yeah, like I said, my birthday is still not for a couple days. It's on the 1st, but thank you. That is so kind and so generous of you. Thank you, Christine. Show some love to Miss Christine down below in that comment section. Thank you so much. As well as Aaron with the $20 on Venmo saying, can we hear the piano? Unfortunately, it's downstairs, but maybe one of these days I'll have to move it back up here so I can play it on stream. It is a whole lot of fun to play. As well as Gabriel with $100. Show some love to Gabriel down below in the chat. Thank you so much, man. That is so kind. Thank you, Gabriel. Gabriel with $100 says, hey, Dean, I just want to let you know that if you choose to stop the streams, I will support you. You need to prioritize your health above ours. Stay woke, brother. Oh, I remember you, Gabrielle. Honestly, I'd say that the live streams helped my mental health. Like it was a rough day today, but like hopping on the streams, just focusing on the conversations and hanging out with you guys, it makes me feel better. I think that my mental health is made a lot better by what we do. But thank you so much for the love, Gabrielle and Christine and Aaron, as well as Naughty with the $15. Saying, I hope all the racists and PDF files that come on know their mothers have never looked at them with an ounce of pride knowing that their little amoebas suck their nutrients just to contribute nothing but hate to society. Bro, holy shit. We have Shakespeare in the live with us. Oh my God. Show some love to Naughty. As well as Miranda with a $21 saying, happy early birthday. Use it to forget the Trump supporters for the night, especially Herbert the pervert earlier. Thank you. Thank you, Miranda. I appreciate you with the $21. Show some love to her. Show some love to Miranda, Naughty, Christine, Gabriel, Aaron, thank you guys so much. Let's try to find that next Trump supporter of the night. I don't know what to do. We're going to keep on trying. We're just simply not finding anybody, but we're going to keep on looking through the guest requests. What's up, Neil? Do you support Trump? I actually kind of forgot you were here.
Absolutely support Trump.
Man, I kind of forgot that you're here. I'm sorry, Neil.
Oh, you're good, man. I was listening to you. I'm glad your mental health, what you said earlier, you're doing better. That's awesome.
I appreciate that, man. Take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Yeah. Oh, well, I support Trump. One, he's our president, right? The election's over. We all Americans should be backing Trump.
No, the reason why that's bad is because social support for or against a president and or their actions is kind of like a hidden lever of like a check and balance that functions inside of our country. Because if we apply social pressure against the things that the administration is doing because they're harmful and bad, well, then the administration is less likely to engage in them. But if we just kind of like agree with what you're saying and suck the boot no matter what, he's president, therefore we should support him regardless of what he's doing, then he's just emboldened to literally do whatever he wants regardless if it's harmful or not, right? We should definitely be critical of a president when they do something that's bad and be grateful of a president when they do something that's good.
100%. We should criticize the president. That's absolutely
right.
But at the end of the day, that's our guy, right? Like that's the guy going on Air Force One. That's our boy.
Wait. I have a question.
Right?
Are you pro like the Second Amendment, pro 2A?
I'm pro Trump.
I'm
pro the guy who's the president.
Are you
Absolutely.
I'm
pro president?
Are you pro Constitution?
Of course, I love the Constitution.
Doesn't the Constitution guarantee specific rights, like the right to bear and own guns to fight a tyrannical government?
Yeah, absolutely, sure.
Oh, okay, so the Constitution tells us that we should literally fight a tyrannical leader with guns. I'd say the least you could do is just redact your support from the guy if he's doing bad things.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, Trump is doing good, man.
So what is he
Trump
doing?
He's doing a lot of good. He's trying. He's doing a lot of good, man. He's trying to end these wars.
Did you support Biden?
I did support Biden.
So you were pro Biden?
I actually voted. I did vote for Biden. Yeah, because dude, Trump first term, it was rough, man. He had a rough start, but he's really like he's definitely a better president.
JB Coop, thank you for the galaxy.
Dude, it was hard. It was hard to vote for the vice president.
Were you pro Kamala Harris?
No.
Wait, why? No. Because she was serving as our vice president.
She didn't do anything as the vice president.
Name one thing any vice president has ever done in American history.
Wait, what? We're not talking about them. We're talking about.
Oh, yes, we are. Name one thing that any vice president has ever done in American history.
Oh, man, that's. Joe Biden was president or vice president.
And what did he do? What's one thing he did?
He posted on Twitter that they got Bin Laden. He was the first one to do it. That was pretty G.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay, Beanie, thank you for the galaxy. So the best you could give me is a singular tweet. Okay, so obviously you're not too educated on anything that any vice president has ever done in American history. So when you tell me that you supported the rapist fascist over Kamala Harris in the election because you don't think that she did much as VP, all that you're really telling me is that you're ignorant, you're not well researched, and you just superimposed your ignorance onto her to demonize her instead of turning around, checking yourself, and maybe just seeking an education. Like, if you can name like a handful of things like prior VPs have done outside of Kamala Harris, and then argued that she had done nothing, then I would have responded and been like, that's false. She passed more tie-breaking votes than any other VP in American history and worked alongside the Biden-Harris administration, passed some of those monumental domestic policy like the CHIPS and Science Act, Infrastructure Bill, PACT Act, etc. But because you can't name anything that any other VP in American history did, this just more so speaks towards your own ignorance compared to a legitimate argument.
So because I can't name something off the top of my head about some previous vice president, that means she would have been better than Trump?
No,
is that your argument?
It means that
that's kind of ridiculous, right?
It means that your argument isn't rationally founded, but rather based on your own ignorance. So why should I honor and give credence to a position that's based on ignorance, not rationale?
I guess I don't even know how we got down this route because your question is, why do you support Trump?
Right, and that is?
Right. And how did we get to this?
Yeah, because you told me that you support him because Kamala Harris
you like to
didn't do
deflect.
anything when she was VP. And then I demonstrated to you with the use of a counter argument that the reason you think she didn't do anything as VP isn't because you have good reason to believe so. It's actually because you have no reason to believe that any vice president in American history has done anything because you're ignorant.
No, one of the best things Trump's done is he's put an end to the wasteful spending of money in this country.
No, I didn't.
Dude, the Democrats function in a way where they just love to spend, just give away our money, right? Give it all away to fight wars. all of that, man. You want to know why student loans didn't get forgiven under Biden? It's because we gave all the money away to fight a war in Ukraine.
Okay, so
That's what happened there, man.
Did you know that Donald Trump has already spent more than the Biden-Harris administration spent in their 4 years? What the fuck are
Yeah,
you
because no, dude, no.
Yes,
Ooh,
yes.
Why are we cursing at each other?
Well, I use curse words not as like a.
Why are we cursing?
I don't use them as a totem of disrespect, but rather as like a totem of like significance, right? It is like incredibly significantly stupid that you're making the argument that the Democrats like to spend more than Trump when Trump has already spent more than the Biden-Harris administration in 4 years in 200 days.
He's got to fix the mess that they left behind. I mean, got to spend money to fix
that,
that, right?
His spending wasn't on fixing a mess. It was on like the big, beautiful bill that only made the quote unquote mess worse by taking money from the poor and giving it to the rich and killing people in the process by taking healthcare away from 10 million and food stamps away from 3 million.
Dean, Biden was hibernating the last 2 years of his office. He didn't do anything.
Oh,
the country was a mess.
So earlier you're talking about pivots. This is example number 1. You bring up that you think Trump spends less. I prove you wrong. And then you're like, well, he's been spending more with good reason. I prove you wrong. And then you go, but Biden was sleepy and old. Come on, bro. Try harder than that.
You don't live in reality, man.
You don't live in reality.
You just feel like everything should be free. I hear you in Parker all the time. Everything should be free. And it's like reality comes into play when it's like, how are you going to pay for all of that, man? I used to be just like you, where I used to be like, oh, let's do all these good things. And it's like, you can't, right? How are you going to pay for that?
Do you think that it should be free to
you
drive on
guys
public
don't live in
roadways?
reality at all, man.
Should it be free to drive on public roadways such as the interstate system?
No, we pay tolls for a reason, man. Like, how are you going to fix the potholes and all of that?
Whoa. The interstate isn't necessarily tolled.
Most of them are, man. And like the ones that are not,
most of them are. That's
and
not
they're not
true.
maintained.
Wait, no, that's not true at all.
Where do you live that you don't pay a toll to drive on a road?
Yeah, Colorado, I-70 all the way through is not tolled.
Colorado, okay.
I-70 all the way through Colorado to Kentucky, through Kansas to Tennessee and Illinois. I-70 all the way through is not tolled.
It's very common to pay a toll to drive on an interstate road in many parts of America.
I think that it's common to pay a toll to go in into like a fast lane, but it's not common to pay a toll to necessarily drive on the interstate in the first place.
If I wanted to drive from New York City to Boston, I'm definitely paying a bunch of tolls along the way.
Okay. Well, I mean,
that's just facts.
So do you think in like areas such as like, for instance, Colorado to Tennessee and all the states in between that have open and free interstates that you don't have to pay a toll on to drive, that you should be able to do that?
Well, I'm not, sure. I mean,
oh wait, really? Where's that money going to come from?
There's a reason why some roads you pay tolls on some roads, right? It's because how they're recovering the cost from building it.
Wait, so you'd say that like the tolls that you pay in New York are paying for my interstate in Colorado?
Oh, 100%, bro. Like, let's be clear about something. There are certain states that are paying more in taxes than they get back from the government, right? So there are some states like New York
like the blue
that
states.
are paying more.
Yeah, exactly, the blue states.
Yeah, what's your point? Like, I don't even know like what your big whoop is. Like,
yeah, that the blue states are economic contributors, and the red states are the quote unquote freeloaders. But no, my point is you basically just said that you're okay with paying
the red states don't make as much money as
New
New York. What are you talking about? New York City isn't in Alabama. Like that's a ridiculous point. If New York City was in Alabama, I guarantee you Alabama would be paying more than the state of New York. Like that's ridiculous.
So we see.
I'm sorry, Alabama isn't located in the Northeast. What are you talking about?
So all that I'm suggesting is that blue states seemingly pay significantly more in taxes, even per capita, compared to red states, accounting for population. Now, point 2, something else I'd like to suggest here, is that you just told me I should be able to drive for free on interstates, even though the taxpayer pays for it, right? So you're okay with individuals accessing necessary public services for free? And if you're okay with the public accessing necessary public services for free, then why were you not okay with 10 million low-income Americans accessing Medicaid for free?
Because free stuff is never good, man.
So you don't
when you make stuff free, it's not good.
Would you say it's good for me
Quality
to
goes
freely
down.
drive on the interstates in Colorado?
Those roads are going to have potholes, man. They're not going to be maintained. They're not going to have lights on them.
They're
That's
maintained.
just how it works,
and
man.
And the maintenance and the lights are paid for by the taxpayers, right? And in fact,
No, they're not.
in fact,
Those roads
even-
are dark at night. I can guarantee you those roads are dark at night.
Have you ever drove an I-70?
I haven't, but I can guarantee you it is.
So then, who should we trust more? The person that drives an I-70 every other month, or the person that's never been on I-70 in their life?
Let's trust me more.
You should trust. Okay, so now you're just like being like intentionally bad faith because you know you've lost the debate. And if you don't think that we should have any like free social safety nets, do you think that we should also get rid of the police?
I think no, that's ridiculous.
Wait, why?
I think,
Because they're a
dude,
social safety net that you get for free, and they're paid for. by
Dean,
the
you gotta
taxpayers.
let this go, man. Like Trump won, man. You gotta let this go.
Damn, what a retreat! He's bowing
gotta
out.
let
He
this
said,
go.
Dean, you just made
It's
a
not even
very
bowing
compelling.
out. It's
Yes,
like-
you are.
Again, it's
yes,
reality.
yes, man.
right?
I just
You
made a
don't- you don't
very
live in
compelling
reality.
counter argument. I just made a
You don't
very
live in
compelling
reality.
counter argument to you by
Oh,
pointing out
man.
that the police are free. You think the police are good, and they're paid for by the
No,
taxpayer.
the police are not free. No, the police are paid by the taxpayers. I'm just
Okay.
saying, like,
Okay,
I'm kind of
well,
over all that. You gotta
so-
accept Trump, bro. President Trump is here, man. He's
Right.
here to
Well,
stay.
well, you don't have a reasonable argument. You just have words.
It's just like you come on here and like you hate on the guy every day, and like you won't
because
ever
he
acknowledge
fucking
any of the
sucks.
good that he does. No, he doesn't. See,
Yeah.
like it's an attitude like that divides the country. Like we don't need that.
Oh
bro.
yeah, it's an attitude like being realistic in alignment with.
Come on here and you
facts
say
that
he
divides the
sucks.
country.
Like no,
so,
you come on here and
so you're telling
you
me,
call him a
listen,
fascist.
Listen,
this and
listen,
that.
my
Like,
friend.
that's the president.
Let me talk real quick. So you're telling me that when Donald Trump goes on Howard Stern's radio show and boasts about how he likes to perv on kids, that I'm in the wrong for turning around, looking at that and being like, that's fucking terrible. I'm the one dividing the country by having a negative reaction to him sexually exploiting children. I'm the one that's dividing the country for having a negative reaction for him taking healthcare away from 66 million American women. I'm the one having a negative reaction for turning around and criticizing him for being in the Epstein files and directing the FBI to redact his name and then never releasing them even though he promised to.
Dean, how long ago was he on Howard Stern?
Get pushed. 20 years ago. I didn't know that condemning
20 years ago.
I didn't know that
Come on.
condemning like
What are we talking
predator
about?
I didn't know that condemning predators that sexually exploit children had a statute of limitations on it.
I'm not like saying that is okay at all, but like it was 20 years ago. We all know the type of guy Trump is.
He only sexually
He's on
exploited kids
Howard
20
he-
years ago.
he was-
If he sexually exploited your daughter 20
He's on-
years ago, would you still support him today?
What are you talking about when you say that? By the way, that's a serious accusation. What
Yeah,
do
I'm
you-
talking about him unconsensually
Go ahead and tell
perving.
the audience.
I'm talking about Donald Trump unconsensually perving on the bodies of naked minors while they were getting undressed and changed in a women/girls only space.
Oh my God, really?
Yes,
Oh
really.
my God, yeah.
Oh, so do you just like basically reject it?
I mean, bro, like really? Come on. Like is that it? Is that all you got? Did he touch anybody? Did he do anything? No, he didn't do anything.
Oh my god! So now you're downplaying it. Okay,
Bro, like what
oh
are we
my
talking
god!
about? Like
So let me ask you a question. If you had a 16-year-old
what are we
daughter,
talking about? You
so if you had a 16-year-old daughter and you took her to Kohl's to get a dress for homecoming, and she's
absolutely. I mean, I know where you're going with this. Absolutely not. But like,
and then she's trying that dress on in a woman's dressing room, and then the floor manager, that's like a 65-year-old man, brushes past you, takes his key, unlocks the door to look at her when she's completely naked without any clothes on, and then turns around and publicly boasts about how good your minor daughter's boobs look to him. Would you take that seriously?
Dean, two very different situations, man.
The only difference is the location.
Very different. No, bro. Like, obviously that dude's getting his teeth knocked out.
That's what he
That's not
did.
what-
He owned Miss Teen USA, and when all of the teenager contestants were backstage
It wasn't
before
Miss
the
Teen
show.
USA. It was Miss Universe.
Oh, okay.
It's
So
not
then,
Miss Teen USA.
so then why do we have like a billion accounts from like 10 different of the now women who were teens at Miss Teen USA testify that he did exactly what he's described on Howard Stern's radio podcast as doing to them, as well as if this was at Miss USA or Miss Universe, it would not be it would not be relevantly different insofar as how wrong it is, because although adult women can consent to that, doesn't mean they did. In fact, they didn't, as he did it without their permission.
So you're acknowledging that you just made that up, right? It was not Miss Teen USA. It was actually Miss Universe. You're acknowledging that you.
No, I didn't make that up. That's based upon
You
the
misspoke,
testimony
right?
of the people that were at Miss Teen USA. He did this to both
Yeah, but
teens
in
and
terms
adult
of
women.
the Howard Stern interview, he was talking about Miss Universe, right?
How do you know that?
I remember the clip when you said it. I recall seeing the clip on like YouTube as I'm scrolling.
So did he say
I've seen it.
did he
I've seen
say
it.
Miss Universe in the clip?
I can't remember. I'm pretty sure. that's what he meant.
Okay.
He's not
How,
talking
how
about
much? How
Miss
much do you
Teen
want to? How
USA.
much
What
do you
are
want to bet?
talking
How much do you want to bet that he said Miss Universe in the clip?
about? I can't recall exactly. But like, and that's the
I
thing.
don't
Right? You
think
assume
it could be a
we're-
conflict of interest, but it's the kind of thing you worry about later.
Oh, I see.
You tend to think about the conflict a little bit later
The
on.
question is, how can it not be construed?
No, I mean, some of these foreign girls, Mr. Trump, in my country, we say hello with the vagina. And well, you could also say, as the owner of the pageant, it's your obligation to do that. So you have done that. Now, I'll tell you the funniest is that I'll go backstage before a show. Yes. And everyone's getting dressed and ready and everything else, and no men are anywhere. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. I'm inspecting. I want to make sure that You're like a everything is doctor. good. You're there. Yeah, the dress. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women, and so I sort of get away with things like that.
Any thoughts, Neil? I didn't hear a Miss Universe in there. Did you?
I didn't hear Miss Universe. No.
Right. So why would you posit such a ridiculously false claim?
I mean, you're the one that said it, right?
No, you were the one that said it.
No, you said Miss Teen USA.
Because we've had
Did-
teenagers
did you-
that were at these
Did you hear
pageants
Miss?
come
Did you
forward
hear?
and
Did
say
you
they
hear?
did it
Did you
to
hear him
them.
say Miss Teen USA in there? No, you didn't, right?
But we've had the teenagers come forward and say that this happened to them. My assumption would be is that he did this at Miss Universe, at Miss USA, and at Miss Teen USA. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Trump's done.
You don't
or
know?
not done.
Okay, you want to play stupid? That's fine. Because even if you want to play stupid on this point, well, can we agree
I'm
that
playing stupid. I don't know what the guy's done.
Can,
He's
can we
not-
agree that he admitted to doing that at least one of these three pageants?
I mean, yeah, like he's on Howard Stern.
Is it
Yeah,
any
he-
worse to sexually exploit girls than it is to sexually exploit women?
Oh my god.
Is it?
What do
Is
you
it?
ask?
No, tell me. Is it? Is it any worse to sexually exploit girls than it is to sexually exploit women? Because in my mind,
course
it
not.
isn't. Right? Right? So now we know it'd be just as wrong if he did this at Miss Teen USA, then it would be wrong if he did this at Miss USA, then it would be wrong if he did this at Miss Universe. Regardless of what pageant he did this at, the girl or women, the girls or women, were not consenting. The girls weren't consenting because they can't, and the women weren't consenting because they didn't. So
I mean,
please,
Trump's
are
still
you
better.
going to defend sexual exploitation now?
Absolutely not. Oh my
Okay, so you
God.
now condemn Trump for sexually exploiting either girls or women or both.
I mean, end of the day, Trump was on Howard Stern. He said what he said. American people still voted him as president because we care. There's bigger stuff to take care of, and Trump is the guy to take care of it now.
Okay, like what?
You need to get behind him.
Yeah, what is bigger that he's going to take care of? Tell me.
He's taking care of a lot. He's about to get that Nobel Peace Prize.
Like what?
He's taking care
Be
of a
specific.
lot, whether you want to
Like what?
acknowledge it or not.
Like what? Be specific. Like what?
He's meeting with Putin. He's meeting with Putin. He's going to shut down these wars. He's trying to help
he's going to end the Russian-Ukrainian war?
taking care of. He's doing a lot more than Biden did.
Actually, no. He's now doing what Biden did.
He's absolutely doing a lot more than Biden
Actually,
did.
no. He's now doing what Biden did. He defunded Ukraine on day one, and then 175 days later, on July 11th, once he realized it was a failing approach because it disincentivized Russia to reach a peace agreement, as there's less international pressure on them to do so, he then
Well, Putin
resumed
wasn't
all the
behaving.
funding to Ukraine.
Putin wasn't behaving yet.
Yeah,
He
because
stopped.
defunding Ukraine made the victim weaker, which made Russia stronger, which gave them more say to do what they want and misbehave, quote unquote. So then he resumed all
also
the
we
funding,
shouldn't be
like Biden and Kamala Harris did all along. The Democrats were right all along. The Democrats had it right. Funding Ukraine was the right decision because it placed more international pressure on Russia. And now even the Trump administration has made that concession because they resumed it last month. The Dems were right. Trump said, okay, Biden, you were doing the right thing. Funding Ukraine was a good decision. You can't deny that because that's what he did. July 11th, resumed all funding to Ukraine. Are you going to be in denial of that? Are you going to deny reality again, Neil?
Trump or Putin wasn't behaving. He had to be stopped.
Oh, okay. So do you deny that he resumed all of the Biden-Harris funding to Ukraine?
He did the right thing when it was needed.
So funding Ukraine was the right thing?
Defunding them in the beginning was absolutely the right thing. It was out of control.
Okay.
It was
So
absolutely
why
out of
was it right to take the funding away from Ukraine 200 days ago, but it was also right to resume all of the funding to Ukraine 50 days ago?
Not all of it. Wasn't all of it.
So what funding did he cut?
It went from infinity to now controlled.
Oh, okay. So please give me a source to demonstrate that the Biden-Harris administration gave infinite money to
It
Ukraine.
was blank checks, man. It was blank checks being given.
So that's
all
actually,
the money that this
that's actually illegal. So Congress can't just sign blank checks and give them to other countries.
You and I both
like the
know
budgeting
that-
has to be passed through like quarterly appropriation bills. So no, they weren't breaking federal law and granting funding outside of quarterly appropriation bills as delegated by Congress. Because remember, Congress has the power of the purse per the Constitution, but of course you don't know that.
No, what I know is what I see with my eyes every day. When Biden was in charge, we had
Wait, so
bridges-
you saw the blank checks?
falling.
Wait, you
No,
saw
I
the
see-
blank
I saw- I
checks?
saw bridges-
Wait.
no, I saw bridges
If you're telling me
falling.
that you believe what your eyes see and you haven't seen the blank checks, then you don't believe that they were sending blank checks. Come on, this is too free. Your ignorance is so easy to refute. Right? So you don't believe in the blank checks because you only believe in what you see and you haven't seen them. Right? Feel free to unmute. Tell us. Come on, Neil. Come back. There you go. So you don't believe that they were sending them blank checks since you didn't see them sending them blank checks, right?
I believe that I'm seeing bridges in this country falling because they're not being maintained under Biden. Because
Biden
we have
literally
nobody in
passed.
this country.
Biden literally passed $1 trillion maintenance bill for American bridges.
He doesn't do anything. What did Biden?
He literally passed $1 trillion maintenance bill for American bridges.
No, dude.
No, he didn't pass the infrastructure bill. Then who passed the
We
infrastructure
needed,
bill?
we needed Trump so bad. Thank
Wait,
God Trump wanted
wait,
to run again.
If Biden didn't
Thank
pass
God.
the infrastructure bill, then who did?
Oh, Biden passed something, sure, but I don't know what came out of that.
$1 trillion to rebuild bridges came out of that.
Well, I mean, Trump passed the Big Beautiful Bill, and I know that that's the largest tax cut in American history.
That's also
should
not
talk about
true.
that more.
Give me evidence.
That's 100% true.
Give me evidence.
Give you evidence?
Yes. Oh, is that a new word
Just
for
go
you?
online. Just go online and take a look.
Okay, take a look where?
You should actually go to. I'll send you the link.
Okay, what's the link?
I'll message you.
No, just say it on live.
The American Presidency Project. You can go take a look.
Okay. All right. I'm bored with you. We're going to move on to the next guest. Hopefully find a guest that isn't like Neil. I feel like Neil was just being intentionally dense to screw around. Phantom, thank you for the $20 on Super Chat, saying whenever Dean hits the guy with a counterpoint, the guest bows so hard he's fellating himself, I think. Also, the only prize Donald Trump is going to get is a Nobel POS prize. Dude, he was literally demanding the Peace Prize from the Netherlands. Demanding a Peace Prize. How funny is that? Thank you for the $20. As well as Coral, thank you for the $500 on... sorry, not $500. $50 on Super Chat. Thank you, Coral. Let's see 500 Coral W's down below. Coral with the $50 says he still has the same mindset as he did 20 years ago. He just denies it and his supporters are automatically believe him. You know, just like a cult. Yup. Head on the nail, Coral. As well as, dude, holy shit. Yumi! Thank you so much for the $200 over on Super Chat. Jesus Christ, Yumi. Thank you so much. Let's get 2,000 Yumi W's down below. Holy fuck, Yumi, that is so kind of you. Thank you. Thank you, Yumi. That is insane. Thank you so much. I do not deserve that at all. You were so incredibly generous with the $200 super chat. Once again, that is Yumi spelled Youmi. Guys, please show some love to Yumi down below in that comment section right now for the $200 super chat. That is so kind of you. As well as, oh my God, Deborah with a $200 Venmo donation. What the fuck is going on tonight? Deborah with a $200 on Venmo says, I listen to you every day and I greatly appreciate everything that you do. You are changing the world one debate at a time, and that's a service that we all benefit from. So here's something for the upcoming quote-unquote payday. Keep cooking the Trumpsters. Deborah and Yumi, both of you, thank you so much for the $200 donations. I do not deserve that at all. And I know I say that every time we get like a super large donation, but I just want to continue to repeat that because it is true. I appreciate both of you, Deborah and Yumi, for being so kind and so generous. And just know that I truly do recognize the value in the love that you've shown me. Thank you, Deborah and Yumi. Show some love to Deborah and Yumi down below, as well as Lindsay with the $21 on Venmo saying, happy early birthday. As a millennial, you give me hope for the future. Please never stop fighting the good fight. You know what? I love it too much. I love it too much. I can never stop. This is such an instrumental and core part of my life now. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you so much. Let's go to move on to that next guest paint life.
My God, I am honored.
Hey,
I am honored
what's up, paint
that
life?
you accepted.
We got you.
Man, I'll tell you what. I am honored you accepted my chance to talk to you. And I'll tell you, in 2016, I was probably about, how old are you right now?
I'm 20.
Just out of curiosity. You don't have to answer.
No, I'm 20.
And I'm not a genius. I want to let you know I'm not a highly educated man. I'm a hard-working man. I work every day. I own my own paint company. But in 2016, I wanted Hillary to win. I believed a lot of the stuff that you say. You know, Trump's a bigot, a fascist, all the stuff you say on the daily. I've listened to you periodically. I don't follow you, I have to admit, but I mean, I don't have to follow you. You're on the FYP almost daily. But I do come in and listen from time to time. And I mean, my biggest thing is if you want to get your point across to your average, you know, like me, I'm a business owner. I'm not a rich man, and but I've had 15 employees, clean down to right now I have 3. You know, but
very quickly, do you mind if I ask you?
I can't really say I'm a Trump supporter.
Oh, that's exactly what I was going to get to. I was going to ask you if you were a Trump supporter.
I can't say that I'm a Trump supporter. I'm more of an independent, but
Paint, I'm sorry, man. Listen, I appreciate you so much for coming up here. Sound like a nice guy. And like I've said to other guests before you that have come up here and not been a Trump supporter that I've had to remove, it hurts my soul. It does. It hurt my soul to remove you, and it hurt my soul to remove a handful of guests before you. Thank you for not being a Trump supporter. Just know that I appreciate you. Okay, Paint? Please do not take me kicking you as a token or symbol of disrespect. Just simply trying to apply the rules equally and fairly. If I didn't kick you, then when that lady had come up maybe 30 minutes ago and she wanted to say something super nice and I kicked her out immediately, that would have been unfair to her. So I hope you understand. I hope you understand. We're going to look for one last guest here of the evening. If you find yourself in that queue, make sure it's because you support Trump. And if you want to support me, once again, we're banned on PayPal, but you can find my Venmo in the link tree in my bio on TikTok or in the pinned message on YouTube. We're going to look for that last guest right now. Here we go, guys. Bro, go to bed. I'm pretty tired. What's up? Do you support Trump? Oh, God. I'm closing out of that. I'm closing out of that. I just accidentally opened up Discord on my computer, and when I saw one of my mods saying that they want to do K soon, what are you doing? I had to close out of that. We shut the Discord down. I tabbed out, chat. I'm gonna let them do their thing. I'm gonna leave them alone. Woo! Okay, back to the live. What's up? Do you support Trump? Hello? They're not here. Okay. Yeah, we closed out of the Discord, man. We put it back on the taskbar. We minimized that again. We minimized that again. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, British 4-year-old. Good day. All right, moving on to Max. Here we go. What's up? You
Nigga.
Yep, just want to say the N-word. Goodbye. Okay. Sandra, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Thank you so much, Sandra. Sandra with the 20 says, thank you for the daily grind to try and educate the MAGAs. Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate you for being here, and thank you for the $20. As well as Sarah with the $10 saying, happy early birthday, Dean. I listen to you every day. My son is also turning 21 pretty soon. You, Parker, and my son give me such hope for the next generation. Thank you. Well, thank you, Sarah, for the $10. And please tell your son that I wish him a very happy birthday. And Amaya, thank you for the $10 as well, saying I wanted to thank you for all of the education you are providing. The old pastor at my church was a borderline narcissist and cult leader and was fired for sexual misconduct, yet my parents are still Trump supporters. Your lives help me educate so I can hopefully educate them. Amaya, that is the main reason why I do the live. Why I do these lives. I'm really proud. I'm really proud of you for hanging out with us here and being willing to turn around and take these points to your parents. That is a very daunting task. Very daunting task. Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Okay, 4-year-old. We might just be done for the day, chat. We're going to hang out. I'm just going to hang out with you guys for another 5 minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below, and I'm going to send you guys over on a raid to Parker's. But we are done with the debates for the day. We're done with the debates. Done with the debates. Let me shoot Parker a text. Hey, just about to end my stream. Bro, I feel so bad for Parker. Let me tell you guys. I feel so bad for Parker. Because I had to do a late live today because I was dealing with the PayPal shit all day. But he didn't want to be live at the same time as me, so he could also try to get some Trump people to debate. And now he's literally going live at 7 p.m. I feel so bad. Annie, thank you so much for the $20 on Super Chat, saying he was 100% a Trump supporter. He was just giving the standard MAGA disclaimer. I'm an independent and I just don't like everything about him. Hashtag justice for paint. You know what? Possibly correct. Yeah, I felt bad. I felt bad about that kick because paint seemed pretty nice. And I would love to try to change his mind if he was a Trump supporter. Samantha with $5 on Venmo saying, thank you for not being an idiot. Thank you. I appreciate that, Samantha. Very kind. Very kind. Quite frankly. Quite frankly. 10 p.m. for a lot of people in the chat. 11 p.m. for somebody down below in the chat. For the person that said 11 p.m., are you guys Canadian? I can't think about any time zone in America where it'd be any later than 10 because that's EST. And 1 hour after 10 would be in the middle of the ocean. But I'd assume if you go a little bit further north, you'd land in Canada. So that's just an educated guess. For the people saying that it's 11 p.m., are you guys in Canada? As well as Bread. Thank you so much for the $10 over at Venmo. Bread, you've been hanging out with us a lot recently. Thank you for the love. Bread says, may I have a very hard get pushed? Very hard get pushed. Bro, you find joy in those, don't you, Bread? Unfortunately, those have to come from a place of authenticity when talking to a Trump supporter. I don't know if I'd be able to pull that one off. Okay. All right, guys. I appreciate everyone that's showing up today. It was a decent day of debates. I was pretty amped up for most of the stream. Before I went to the gym, which was right before I went live, I drank a really big Red Bull. And it was 200 milligrams of caffeine. So that was keeping me pumped for the first little bit. I will be honest. But now I'm starting to crash. When is the next live? Says somebody in the chat. Tomorrow. We do these every day. Make sure to hit that follow button if you haven't already. I forget there's new people here. Honestly, that's actually a question that I want to ask. Out of everybody that's still in the stream, how many of you guys are new? Never seen me before. Somebody in the chat said rookie numbers. Bro, dude, I used to do 400 milligrams of caffeine. That shit fucked me up. Yeah, man, look at that. There's a bunch of people in the chat that are new. For everyone that's new, we do these streams every single day, right? I honestly forget. I forget that there's new people that tune in every day that haven't seen these before, like Kitty or Todd or Maddie or Elena down below in that chat. I hope that you enjoyed it. For everybody that is new, how did you guys enjoy the stream? Let me hear your perspective. right? That's coming from freshly just learning who Dean is and what he does. What were your thoughts on the stream today? As well as Gabrielle with the $10 on Venmo. Thank you. Saying 3 million likes on TikTok. Woohoo. Let's go. We did it, 3 mil. And then Rowdy with another $10 saying I'm a sociology professor that would love to do an interview with you for cultural research project that focuses on TikTok. Rowdy, send me an email. Send me an email. Do it. Anyways, it's interesting. Okay. So somebody that's new said it's interesting. Somebody else says love it. Hell yeah. Sleepy says I love your lives. Thank you. T says pretty good. Loved it. Yeah, man. These lives can be fun. These lives can be scary. These lives can be annoying. These lives can be dense, entertaining, educational. There's so many different key points of takeaway from these. But, you know, somebody in the chat just said something interesting. Erica Sanchez says eye-opener. And honestly, Erica, I feel like that is one of the biggest takeaways from these streams. Before I started doing these lives, I didn't just like typically run into people that would tell me that like rape's not wrong. I wouldn't just typically run into people that would say it's normal to perv on naked girls. I wouldn't just typically run into people that would tell me these crazy things. And the streams have acted as an eye-opener in the sense that, you know, we learn that these people actually exist, they're real, and how much of a threat they are, not just to our country, but to the world, you know. Brock, thank you so much for the $50 donation on Venmo. Show some love to Brock down below in that chat, you guys. Brock with the $50 says, as a guy that was essayed when I was younger, your lives have helped me see that there is a brighter future coming, and thanks for your work. First and foremost, Brock, I'm sorry that happened to you, man. I mean, I would assume that you could have guessed it was what I was going to say, but I mean it. I mean, you know, I won't share too much, but that is like just truly an experience that sticks with you forever and can be really hard to work through for a lot of people. I'm sorry that happened to you, but I'm happy that the lives, you know, help you see a light at the end of the tunnel of the dark and gloomy government that has inserted itself into so many painful ways into so many lives. Thank you for the $50, Brock. For everybody spamming Momo down below in the chat, I'm going to be honest. I think Momo's hanging out with my girlfriend downstairs. I won't be able to do that. Coral with the $10 says, is there a progressive candidate you'd pick for 2028? I'm not going to lie. I haven't made a determination yet. I think that we're still too far out. I think that we could see more progressive candidate. We just haven't seen it yet. We don't know. Cindy with the $10 says, listening to you as I make my protest sign for tomorrow. Vance will be in my hometown to hype up the big, beautiful bill. Thank you for all that you do. Have fun tomorrow. Stay safe, Cindy. Anyways, guys, I'm going to go to an end for the evening. For everybody on TikTok and YouTube, I love you both. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. We're probably going to try to do an earlier live tomorrow. But you guys have a good rest of your evening. Peace and love. And goodbye. For everyone over on YouTube, bye, guys.